So, I see everybody comments on Thomas the Train. I don't know. Thomas isn't intimidating. He doesn't look creepy. Yeah, he's looking right at the camera. But look at the doll. It's the doll riding Thomas. That's like just peeking out from behind like, what's up, fuckers? I'm gonna run you over. And you know, just like any classic horror movie, if they were chasing anybody down the railway tracks, those people would run straight down the middle of the tracks rather than get off to the side, right? I don't understand how that's still a thing in horror movies these days. These are gone now. Ignore these. Cosmetics. Sorry, the word escaped me for a minute. Ignore these cosmetics, everyone. The new set is out as of today, March 3rd, actually. And we'll have a look at the new one a little bit later. I do have it up ready to go in the background here. The stream and then of course we have our the live stream audio could be really low. Of that, which is hybrid combat. I know that a lot of you have a lot of thoughts on this. So Lady Tilt, my love, good to see you. Hello, hello. Make sure that they incorporate your feedback, please. Lucifer was shaking, my friend. How are you tonight? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. How you been? Guild discussions. We're doing a lot of guild. How have you been? Look at the size of that heart emote. It actually goes over the badge. That's funny. So we really wanted to understand what kind of things that you guys need. The first topic was actually what tools are most helpful to you for recruitment and retention, both in-game and outside of game. And you all presented a lot of great feedback. I think Toast is still consolidating all of that. But I read through some of it, and some of the web stuff we're already planning, so I was really excited to see that that was stuff that you guys actually wanted as well. Because I know I want it as a guild leader, but it's always like nice to hear that the rest of the community is interested in those things too. Our next topic is going to be about guild halls. I know that a lot of people have feelings about these things and how they should be functional and what kind of purpose they should have or how big they should be. I just posted the emote update that is coming, you guys. The last thing I have is a reminder of our it's still work in progress. We still got a couple things left to tweak on it. But right now, let me know your thoughts. I just put it in my general channel in Discord there. 1 week test, but we will talk a little bit about that later because we just had a playtest and we have a lot of things that we're incorporating and changing, and obviously things might have to be adjusted to incorporate those changes. Yes, exactly. So I will actually can't go wrong with the table flip. So that should be the new one coming out here. For those updates. T3.
So things are going very well with our latest.
I got a couple things about it I want to tweak, but it's looking really good so far. Credit to Lady Tilt for the design of this one. Super exciting.
8 or 9 of them.
DJ Flemmy Flem coming in with the tier 1. My guy. Thank you for the sub, my friend.
Very excited to see.
I appreciate that. Refresh the browser, rep up those emotes. Welcome to the Tilted Paradise.
We only hire the best.
Lucifer, you finally beat TOA.
It's awesome to see their
congratulations.
Flow into the project.
How is the state of Summoner's War these days?
Not literal blood. I know, not literal blood. Yeah, that's true. Well,
sometimes.
Yeah.
Been a hot minute since I've played that game.
Feeding.
They know our secrets.
I see the new monsters are a little crazy from what I'm understanding.
No. So that's all going well. We are hoping to be back in the studio
did you get any?
by July 1st. That is our next target goal date. Obviously, that's dependent on how things are going with COVID and
it'll be interesting to see
events, things are looking a little
if things take a different direction at all, or what happens as they adjust to life in the new studio.
Into a collaborative environment where we're next to one another and can reach across the aisle. And,
it'll be really neat to see what comes from that.
I know. I really
want nice. Congratulations.
Friday Night Magic.
It's still one of my favorite monsters.
No.
Just people.
It's so sad.
People. It's different when you're brainstorming.
Always will be one of my favorite monsters, I think.
Online, there's just not the same energy that you have when you're like all together bouncing off of each other.
For sure.
It's just very different.
Also, in my year of isolation, I've managed to construct a few really fun commander decks that I want to try out and see how they...
So I get the impression the real reason they want to get back to the studio is A, so they can socialize, B, to play some Magic.
I messed up a couple times in our commander games. I didn't know that things weren't allowed. But
oh, okay. Yeah, I heard the fire one was really OP.
I should take my 5 copies out. Oh, I have 5? My bad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Congrats,
joking.
man. That's awesome.
But yeah, no, things
Nice to hit those
things are going very
achievements.
well for the studio. Obviously, we just came off of our last test. You know, we did hit a few setbacks in those tests, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Kind of explain, you know, what that was. Obviously, the purpose of testing is to hit setbacks because we want to find them out earlier rather than later, and it gives us an opportunity to deep dive and, you know, collect those metrics and data. But yeah, I think that's the gist of the studio update. Am I missing?
I mean, if he was that crazy.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's mainly been hiring. Like that's kind of been our big ticket.
I still watch the odd Jew Bagel video.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a lot of positions to hire for. I'm excited. My team's growing.
So many positions to hire for. Hire me remotely.
We did have a fun.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I was
Yo,
gonna say, no, I
Laura,
was just gonna
what's
segue
shaking, my
into
friend?
to
How
the
you
fun
doing?
Update that maybe some people noticed this
Good
morning.
to see you.
Yeah.
take
So speaking of that, not only
How have you
is
been?
my team
It's been I feel like it's been a
junior
while.
community manager,
I saw you
social
briefly
support,
in chat not long ago.
social media manager.
Social media.
We're also we've been working with Valor, which you guys have heard already, and they have been doing some amazing stuff with our website.
They have. In fact, let me give just a quick shout out. So those of you out there who might be in the
Cupcake Gate went.
the enterprise industry and business and need technical support and or web development support, I would give a major shout out to the Valor team, Valor Software.
So Cupcake Gate. That's funny. I haven't heard it called Cupcake Gate yet, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. We I think we still had a bunch of cupcakes upstairs for after that night. If memory serves me correctly, that was a couple weeks ago now. And I've eaten a lot of food since then, so it's easy to forget. I'm not the type of person that eats something really, really slowly and just enjoys it. I inhale my food for the most part. And I just want to consume more and more of it rather than just sit there and enjoy each delicious, savory, sweet morsel. It's something I wish I could change, but you know, like we got a big bag of mini eggs, and that between the two of us, I think it lasted like 2 days. So we got another one. That one lasted 3 days. So yeah, but the cupcakes, we had some homemade cupcakes, and we had some that were gifted to us from, I don't know who, actually. We don't know who they came from, but there was some that were gifted to us, and they were meh. Honestly, there was just a lot of sugar there. Hey, Wizzy, how you doing? Good evening. Good to see you. Yeah, she shared them with me. For the most part, too, we got out unscathed. There was one. Okay, so it was a pack of 6 that were given to us, right? And the deal was that we were gonna cut them in half, and then each have a half, because there was 6 different flavors, right? I'm like, oh, there's a strawberry one, I'll pass. I wasn't too worried about that one. So me thinking that, okay, since I passed on that one so that Lady Tote could have it, that I would get one of the other ones. She was still under the impression that we were gonna cut the rest in half. So I might have gotten a wee bit of hot water when I ate one of the cupcakes, but I mean, I eat a full-size cupcake in 2 bites, if it's lucky. Never share mini eggs. Oh, you have to. Those bags are big enough that you're gonna share them. You're gonna share them. On the forums, are you defending? I defended the caravan. I chose to defend the caravan because if there's a bunch of brigands there that are after hot loot and it's known that you might have some hot loot. Granted, I think I missed the last 1 or 2 steps, honestly. I don't trust them. I don't trust them one bit, and if we get caught up in the heat of battle, they might turn around and come after us as well. So there's no honor among thieves, right? We're out here for number 1. If the guy decides to thank us and not give us anything, well, guess what? We'll probably be able to call in a favor later on down the road, you know? It's kind of how that works. Or catch him in it. Karma will come around. Karma will come around. Wizzy's here, hi Joy. Yeah. A poorly planned caravan, they deserve to get checked. Alright, I like this community clash. Both sides of the fence here. Wizzy's attacking. Sounds like Lore's attacking. Dread and I will defend it. And we will defend it to the bitter end. I promise you that. Maybe the caravan's not so poorly planned. Maybe it just looks like bait. Maybe it's a trap. You never know. Gruntag, Suburban Flammer. Nice. All right. I see. I'm all about making friends, not enemies. And like I said, there's no honor among thieves, so I'm not looking to make friends with thieves, you know? If they happen to owe me something and there's an honor thing there, cool. But I'm not gonna, you know, lay my life on trust to them. As a self-described caravan aficionado, if you are relying on randos to show up and defend you, you deserve to get your shit pushed in. I'm not going to necessarily disagree with that statement. My defense of the caravan does come from a little bit more of self-preservation than from just sticking up for the little guy, so to speak. Yeah, I like to gather information first before I just dive head in and put my neck out for someone else. I want to know that, you know, they're not a terrible person that's being served justice and they're just trying to avoid it. However, like I said, if there's a band of brigands coming after the caravan and we decide to jump in next to them, they might just turn around and be like, hey, you know what? We like what you got too, so we're going to take you down as well. It's self-preservation. That was my primary motive for defending the caravan, I'll be honest. Once you all learn the Wizzy McNasty's backstory, you'll understand why she's attacking. That's fair. Maybe you are a brigand. Is that it, Wizzy? Are you a brigand too? Your 3-way melee? Absolutely. Do I want to come work for you? Doing what? I would like to fight alongside a stranger and make a new ally, easy peasy, in a good team fight. Hey, I mean, if this guy is trusted with transporting valuable goods in the caravan, he might have some good connections too, you know? You can get on the right page with some higher powers. Mercenary work focused on caravans. Yeah, I might be down for that. I will be playing primarily in coastal regions, I expect. So, yeah. I doubt I'll want to play a diplomat. I'm not. I don't know if I'm the most diplomatic person around. And a scout, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But mercenary is probably more so my line of work, my bread and butter, where I would enjoy it. But yeah, it's interesting. I love the decision making story process that they're doing with the community on this. It's a lot of fun. That being said, a true mercenary will do whatever's required for a good paycheck, right? Legionnaire. Absolutely. Well, hey, there's going to be a good guild alliance system in place as well, right? So, depending on how everything kind of rolls out, and my biggest hope is that we could all be on the same server together. That's what I really want. You know, whether we're all in the same guild or we're alliance guilds or even like pseudo alliances where it's not official, but just happens to be that way, you know? All together, we will cover the world of Vera. And that'll be the way to go. Out all those.
They're located primarily, I believe, in
underneath.
Ukraine. They have a great, dedicated team
But
of
yeah,
professionals
that's the big
who
one.
we have had an absolute pleasure
That
working
we're all
with to
on
help
the same
support our
server,
platform needs.
and I feel like that's
And
something
they
that
have assisted
almost
us
all of us that are
in creating the new website
active
and,
here
having that rollout
on
this
Twitch
morning. And
these
Margaret's
days,
gonna get into that a
whether
little bit,
from
but they've done a great job.
this
So
side
big
of the
shout out to them
camera
team
or your
for
side of the camera.
doing a great job.
It has been great working with them. They've
I think
taken
we're
my
all
crazy
kind of in that
feedback. I'm,
hope
like,
that we're
really
all going to be
nitpicky.
looking to be
But
on
they
the same
just
server together.
immediately fix it and make
Regions
changes. And I really appreciate that. And
providing
they're really
anyway.
getting to know the design style that we're trying to go for as well for like our branding.
That
And they're
being
doing a great
said-
job of like incorporating that into the changes that they make. So I'll just share it here, and obviously you can go over
Time
to our
zones
website.
will be
I'm not
interesting
going to click on everything here 'cause I don't
concept
want you to see all the stuff, but
with servers.
this is kind of like the default site. We put up a little pop-up here so that people are. It's a little
See
bit more
the
clear what
special
custom
offer
things
thing
we're
down
doing.
here. They've updated that now. It's got the
Register.
new
A lot of this
the new
stuff, too,
cosmetics
is
on it.
Just the main homepage that we're doing.
So that's all being
Right.
updated.
And just
Regular, it
And
seems
just so
like
you
the
guys are
news and
aware,
all that has been
obviously,
updated
we have
now
a
on
lot
the live
of
page versus what we
features
see here.
on the plate that
So
we
the
want to include
the
on
front
website,
page for the website is
that, you know, it's not just
seems to be
quality
up
of
and
life
fully
features,
functional
but
at this
also
point.
some pretty in-depth fun
but
integrations
linking to
the game as
anywhere
well.
else, the shops, the
This
forums,
first
all that
rollout
still takes you
is
to all the
really
old
more
stuff. So hopefully we'll see that
front-facing,
coming
right?
online
You
here
know,
shortly.
It doesn't have those,
And
those
the
deeper
content creator
features that we're
program.
going to be incorporating with
Maybe
in our
before
designs.
the next
But it gives an
test
opportunity for
phase,
us to have a soft launch
so that
essentially
some of
of
us
this
can apply
more
to
marketing-oriented
get our
front
Alpha 1
page
key.
of the website.
Just saying.
It's kind of
If
establishing,
you're listening,
you know, what that design is
Steven.
going to look like. It lets us, you know, work out the bugs and whatnot, and have you guys a part of that.
Subtle, right?
process
So
a little bit,
subtle.
But you'll see, Margaret's going to probably be preparing in the next coming weeks, you know, detailed article on kind of what our roadmap looks like.
That
on
doll
the
in the
website,
Thomas
the
the
features
Train
that are
Age,
gonna
man.
be
That's the
updated with
creepy
it.
thing. It's
And
not
I'm sure
Thomas.
that's gonna
It's
get
the
you guys
doll.
excited because I think we're going to go a little bit beyond the
She's even got the
norm
hair,
of
like,
what
they were
MMORPGs
just
or even
flying
game
down the
studios in
tracks.
particular, offer through their web presence.
Yeah, obviously
A
this
support
has been a
ticket?
huge passion project for me personally.
On through their website, you
ever
mean?
since I started.
I haven't even
telling
thought
Steven
about
I
that.
wanted a website. So
I reached out to
from my
Margaret
perspective,
through
but,
her
yeah,
through
I
her
don't want it just to be like a site that's there. I want us to have
her
some
platform linked on her Twitter.
like Stephen was saying, we'll talk a little bit more about this in that article. We're also going to have a lot of information on the site. Right now I know that it doesn't have a lot.
I will do
We
that
actually have some segments
tonight.
That have
Actually,
game
thank you.
information,
That is an
lore,
excellent
we'll have
suggestion.
classes,
I
we'll
hadn't
have,
previously thought about that,
race
so
details and all of those things, and also there will be phases. of those
I'm gonna
pages
go and
too. So
pull that up
as
right
we
now,
get
so
more
I
into
have it
the
here.
Classes, we'll have more of those details, icons, of images,
That
things
is,
like that. But you know, to start with, it might
fantastic
not
idea.
be as in depth.
Right.
Like for instance, the races. Right now, maybe it'll just be an icon with a little blurb, but later down the line, you know, it'll be an image of, you know, different genders and more details. And then later down the line after that, it might be a turntable where you can like spin the character around, and maybe down the line even further, you'll be able to like create a character, right? So those are type of the things that we want to like slowly progress with it. And then
My God.
on
No, I'm just
the guild, I know the Valor
I
peeps
need
are
assistance
crazy.
with
They
my
have some
account.
amazing ideas
I'll go
too.
with that
And on the guild front,
option, I
know that that's
suppose.
kind of like the main structure of MMOs, right? Like that's how we communicate, that's how we keep in touch. I think a lot of what functionality we want to have there, and I think you guys have said a lot of these things in that feedback thread that you gave us, which a lot of help. So thank you. It's providing you ways to recruit new people, you know, having a page where you can schedule events, show which types of classes you're looking for, what type of guild you are, being able to have that public or private,
they do.
that type of thing, so that you can keep in touch with your homies, even on the webpage, even if you're like not necessarily at your PC, right? You can do it on your mobile phone.
I like it.
So there's a lot of functionality that we do want to incorporate. But yes, that is the website. I'm very excited. We hope that you all are liking it.
Yeah,
it's looking so good.
It is looking good.
The shop is getting an update. I know there was a lot of questions about that. The shop is getting an update. It will be much better. You'll be able to see all the icons and the images of the items and things like that. And then also the account page and your profile page is gonna have some changes. I know one of the main things that people want to know is, for instance, their referrals. There's gonna be a lot more information there for you for your referrals.
Yes.
You'll be able to like select a date, time frame, and stuff like that, so you can
definitely curious on that one.
So yeah, there's a lot more stuff coming down the line. We understand that those are the things that you guys want, as well as content creator program details will be available.
There it is.
Speaking of things that people want.
Yeah, I know they want gameplay, so let's transition to that, which is first let's talk about the tests that just happened. Let's talk about the tests
sure. Yeah, we could talk. Yeah, okay. That sounds good.
Because I think that's a good preface for
yeah, absolutely. So let me give just a little update. We did have our second preview test that was last weekend. And we did hit some snags. That's okay. That's a good thing, in my opinion. And right now, this week, we have spent the majority of this week countless hours deep diving into those snags and deploying fixes for them. We will likely be having some additional spot testing with our ND8 Alpha 1 testers, probably starting early next week, I'm going to imagine, in order to address some of those issues. As a result, I know that I had mentioned I would give an update on the reopening of Alpha 1 sales. At this moment in time, I cannot commit to reopening Alpha 1 sales, so
and that's absolutely fair, because
those issues in a relatively short period of time, and then I will.
If there's issues that they need to resolve before they can bring more people in, that needs to be addressed.
We are obviously trying to push as much as possible.
I can only imagine that if they were opening Alpha 1 sales back up, that they would be looking at somewhere probably in the neighborhood of like 5,000 keys
in order to facilitate those goals
as a minimum to be providing, so that it's not like, hey, it's not like trying to get like Metallica tickets or something like that, where if you're not there as soon as the ticket sales open to buy, that you don't get one.
We want to accommodate what our overall.
They would want to allow people to actually have a chance to get in reasonably.
I can't tell you guys enough how important it is that we have testers who are participating, live testers outside of our simulated player testing that we obviously do internally, but having live testers who are capable of jumping in and spot testing on that front really provides us with.
I feel like it still would. It would still be a mad rush. It'd probably crash the site trying to buy the Alpha 1 packs.
It really helps us out.
Absolutely. So what I will tell you guys is this: obviously I've said this many times in the past. Our goal is creating the best possible MMORPG that we can. That process, it is a process, and sometimes there can be some setbacks, and we're going to address those, and we'll keep you guys updated. That's the whole purpose of this transparent development process. We have our monthly updates where I will come to you and kind of keep you updated on what's going on. Margaret and the community team does a great job with the articles and posting on social media to keep you guys updated as well. So
we'll see a lot of the fruits of the community's efforts in the upcoming
if there's additional news to come
video
for,
here.
Alpha 1 participation in the future, we will
but it's the result of community feedback that has inspired a lot of the changes that we'll see.
We can talk a little bit more about the test after the gameplay, I think, but yeah, generally, I mean, things are going very well from the development side. These types of things, just need to get worked out, these little kinks.
When you said the test was last weekend, I thought you were wrong, and I had to open up my calendar and
like a month ago.
And I was like, oh wow, it was just a week ago.
Yeah, this month has gone by. Like, I feel like we just had our live stream, so it's been busy. We've been hard at work, so we hope that you all appreciate all of that. Some of it's not visible to you yet, right?
Yeah, I've always, one of my favorite quotes is, I've always said it in the past, is that patience. I saw somebody just say it in the chat, but patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. That is a motto to live by, especially when it comes to, I think, software development, like games and games of our size. But I know you guys have been incredibly patient as a community.
I grew up with two phrases along that were very opposing of each other. There was
working on a project and you have a community behind your back.
Good things come to those who
giving you
wait.
Support and wanting things to
And
get
the
done
opposing
right,
side of that is all is lost to those who
rush
hesitate.
job, so to speak, that we've all experienced.
I feel like
that's a
they can be very
important aspect. It gives
situational.
us confidence as developers to continue working hard and making sure that.
But I heard the latter one much later in my life, and it was an interesting thought that came from that, you know,
like our internal chats, like sharing, or
you know, it's not always good to just sit back and wait and watch everything happen. Sometimes you gotta get out there and
how kind you guys are. And
be the early adopter.
For MMOs is very different. It's
contemplation is wisdom, hesitation is fear. Yes, absolutely.
Joining our journey.
You know,
we have a lot of
where would we all be right now had we thrown a couple $100 into Bitcoin like 10 years ago, huh?
Video, or do you want to talk a little bit about?
I think so.
Anything?
Oh, talk about. Oh, yeah. Let me talk a little bit about the video. I'm sorry.
It's an interesting
I'll give you just a
thing,
real
but-
quick, typical disclaimers. This is the Alpha 1 preview client, so
Yeah, you
are
missed 100%.
seeing works in
I love
progress.
it.
You are
Number
not seeing the
99.
finished
I
product.
love the Gretzky reference.
With that being said, however,
I love that. I love
I
that.
am joined by a
That
few
quote
of
too.
our,
That is a very good
our
one.
development team. We kind of run across the world and just look at some changes we made. You guys
Stole
gave
that from
great
Path of
feedback
Exile.
on,
I got a good one from
the
Call
blur
of
that was
Duty
happening
years
under the
ago.
water. We got the fix in for that. We gave
What
good
was
feedback
it?
on the fireball and how the casting animation, you didn't want it as such of a wind up, and
An
you see
amateur
some
practices
little bit of
until he can
combat
get it
changes in
right.
how we're kind
A
of
master
addressing,
practices until he can't
skill
get it
use and
wrong.
abilities and making them more mobile. The
I
fireball
got that
gets
from a Call of
changed.
Duty loading screen many years ago.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But that one always stuck with me.
Oh, got it. It's a lawnmower.
I thought it was a train.
I thought it's okay.
It's like literally out my window right now. So
Yes.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
I also
Yeah,
run
Wayne
by,
Gretzky had some good ones,
and I
so
run
did
in- I
Bruce
actually
Lee.
didn't know we were
Bruce
gonna
Lee
be
had some
running into
really
this
good
area, but
ones.
I ran into a little area that one of our very talented designers,
Yoey
Aimi
Lane.
Watanabe, she did a great job, and our design team's great, but you'll see a little bit of her work on the quest side.
Music is really
I stumbled
fucking
into this area
interesting.
while we were running around.
Does
Had some
not
fun
pair up
quests that Jeff can
with
talk
this
about
video
after the video,
whatsoever.
but, you guys can see some questing, and then we end up with a little dueling PvP. And I want to just say this: do not judge my performance in this PvP dueling. I wasn't ready for it, okay? And
Sure.
I'm getting older as a
If I
player.
wasn't ready
and I'm
for it,
just,
does that mean he didn't have his
I'm
GM
more on
commands
the,
at the helm?
Systems ideas and designs, not so much the actual playing of the the character. So please don't judge me, and do not talk about my clicking. Okay, sometimes I got things going on, and I click on some.
I love
skills
how
here and
humble
there.
Steven is,
You know,
and that he-
I moved from like a gamer to like a dev dad or something.
It's just
I don't know.
able to just laugh at himself, you
Toast
know.
and I were
I
giving
think that's
Steven
such
a
a great quality.
Unbelievable. All right, I think we can play it. We can
All
play
right,
it.
we'll play
Oh,
it.
by the way, this
Also,
is in
there's some-
4K. This is in 4K, and I have uploaded it to our YouTube channel. So after the stream, we'll probably go live with that video, and you can watch it in 4K again if you wish as well.
Perfect.
If only I could actually
right.
watch it in
We'll
4K.
see you on the flip side in about 35 minutes.
Hello,
Actually, I
everybody.
should pull this up on my
Welcome
TV,
to
then I could.
another monthly update with your regularly scheduled 4K recording.
Oh yeah,
in the
I
Ashes
know I'm not going to be
Creations
anywhere near as
Alpha
good as I am
area.
hoping
am
I will
joined
be
today
or think I will
by
be.
three
Absolutely
amazing
not.
developers on
There's
the
there are
team.
some just absolutely
Mr.
incredibly talented gamers out there, and
Fiery.
Everyone gets it.
yeah, it's just nuts. I remember
Well, this
when I used to
is
play a lot of
actually
Destiny,
Mr. Adam
Destiny 2,
Pippich, who
my
is
friends
an
and I, we
engineer
were
on Ashes
pretty
Creations.
good at the
Welcome
game.
to
We
the
could
stream.
jump
Thank
into
you. It's good to be back.
into the
It's always fun to do
Crucible
these with you,
in a
so,
group of
I
4 or
appreciate
5
Yeah.
and
then
do
we have
decently well.
Mr. Slurpee, also known as Alex Canoli, an engineer on Ashes
You know, and
Creations.
go out and do our raids and
doing pretty
dungeons and
I see you
whatever,
got the
and
Corvid Castigator
rock the
mascot.
Nightfalls and
Oh yeah.
all
you
that
ready
stuff.
to breathe
And then you
underwater?
go and see people that can just like solo half that stuff or duos it
Nice.
and
Then we
just
have a new addition,
run rampant as a
Mr.
1 or
Trad
2
Thompson. How you doing,
group
Dread?
over everyone.
Good.
Whether
Good to be here.
PvE or
I'm
PvP,
a
it
little
was
newer on the
just
team, so this is my first
just
participation
insane.
in the stream.
Just insane how good some people
finally
are
get to do one of
at
these.
games.
That's right. How long have you been on the team now?
So
I was
as
just talking about it
much as I
earlier
like to
today,
sit
but
here
I
and
think it's been
talk
about
about
4
or
months now,
think
so
that I'm
it's
going to
still
be
pretty
some
fresh on
superstar
it.
arena
Wow,
player
and
because
you
I'm
came
going to
from,
play a strong
Cryptic?
class and for 1v1s or
Cryptic Studios.
2v2s, like,
Nice.
Working on
no.
the Magic
The reality
project.
is I'm going to
very
get
cool,
fucking spanked.
Well,
I'm going to get
guys, I think we're gonna
roasted
just kind of,
like crazy.
run around together, chat a
And
little bit
hopefully it'll
a little
make
bit
for
about
fun
the
and
test
entertaining
last
content in the
weekend, also about,
process.
what you guys
That's-
are up to.
As long as we're having fun and
The first
laughing
thing
at
I
it,
want to,
that's all that matters.
Show off is I know a lot of people had some comments.
I'm not gonna let my hopes and dreams become expectations
underwater
and disappointment.
blurriness, and we did get some changes for that.
And hey, there's
So
the
why don't we
volcano
slow
that's
down
always
a
in the
little bit
background.
with our, what are these scale runners? See, take a look at that difference. Ooh, look
Whoa,
at that.
yes.
That's not too
So
bad.
I didn't get a
Now it's a
good.
little bit clearer.
I
We
was
can
kind of
actually see what's
watching this
going on.
while I was at work
there
when
like
it
a
was
short
live,
this one
so
too?
I didn't get a good chance to really sit here and
What,
watch a lot of the video.
Let's get them confused.
But that looks so much better. It's got a decent amount of distance blur to it,
Yeah, this looks
Try
much
not to
better.
drown.
Yeah, just try to not
but
drown.
it's not.
This looks much
It's
better
not
with
like
the,
messing up
I'm
the
not actually
colors
getting a breathing
and
tape
everything
right now,
like
so I'm
that.
good. I might be mortal or something. I live with
For
that.
up close, right? Like
definitely am
everything
getting
still looks
tape.
vivid and
I can
as
see
it
it. I think you're dying.
Gotta
should.
balance it.
I guess
Oh no.
it is a reliable landmark.
Why are we
Absolutely.
not using our?
It's the big
swing mounts?
backdrop
Oh
piece
yeah, we should
in
do
the
this.
Alpha
Well, you know,
1
I like the way that these
test
guys
environment, right?
swing their tail back and forth.
Yeah, that swimming
Should get
animation
4
is
different
beautiful
mounts
for
next
these
time.
things.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
It
but now
really
should be
is.
in unison.
I feel like they've seen most of them though. There was like a aquatic mount video you guys.
I
were
hope
doing.
I hope there's an
not too long
option
ago.
to turn
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Like you can
Never
see
saw
all the
that little
nameplates
tide
for the
sniper.
crab and the tide breaker and whatnot. I hope
am
there's a
now
way to
on
turn
lap-
those nameplates
Oh, I love how
off
fast these guys
unless
are.
you're mousing over within
Oh,
a certain
what happened
range
to you?
of them.
Tide snapper versus tidebreaker.
Or at least a button or something you can
Julie,
press to
you're just
disable
dragging a whole
all
bunch.
the UI for like photo ops and stuff. 'Cause I
handle
feel
it.
like, you know, there's gonna be some
Alright,
really
let's go.
great opportunities in this game to just go and plant yourself on a
Those crabs have
cliffside
a
somewhere
defensive buff
and
that's pretty strong.
just take a screenshot for a wallpaper or fuck even something like
Saves the big damage. ability after
I
a
think
little bit. All right.
I think Sim was mentioning it the other day
Oh, okay.
before a podcast
saved
about
us.
having the steel plates that they do art
All right, where are
on.
we headed? So, guys,
I forget
as,
the name of the
we
company
probably
that does
already
them now.
mentioned
It's a
on the stream,
website.
Who knows?
And
It is
you
currently
can have,
11:38 p.m. Thursday, February 25th. Obviously, this is going to be unedited.
An image put
footage,
on a
as
steel
usual.
plate that hangs
But
on
we
your
are
wall.
fresh off
So being able
of
to do
some
that with
testing
stuff
that was,
out of ashes
that
or
happened
get
this
the team
last
to do
weekend.
it with a lot of their
We
concept
did encounter
art would be really cool.
some setbacks, but that's okay. That's
Pop
the
a post on the
purpose of
forums about
testing.
that. You're ready
and,
for it? Yeah, I will.
You guys have been
It's a
hard
good one to
work
have, and I think
figure out
I
those issues.
imagine they will have it, but
Tell us a little bit about.
it's one of those things that's probably
kind of
better
how
to
we
say it now
dive
and
into those
they've
issues,
already
so we-
they're already planning on it or it's
Oh,
already
sure.
there
Well,
versus
first of all, we have
not
to,
saying
do a lot
anything
of
and the
networking,
chance that it
CPU
gets
profiling
missed or
while
overlooked.
the servers were up during the high load. We basically diagnosed.
Oh,
the
interesting.
issues with
Okay,
networking
I see what
and
they're saying now
issues
about
with
the
just
mount
world
buttons
itself,
on the bar there for
diagnosed
D
issues with
and
NPCs
R.
that we're having problem with.
Is that really D or is that no? That's 0.
Yeah, we've got a lot
That-
of good
that's
data,
0.
And we
No,
have hard at
yeah,
trying
because
to fix
Q
all the issues
is the
currently.
one next
Yeah.
to the left of the fireball
The
there.
other thing is when we run those profiles, it even further exacerbates the server's performance. So a lot of players were in there, and while we're collecting that very useful data
But
that
yeah,
you guys
a
use,
cinematic
obviously,
mode
to
will be
diagnose what's going on,
very nice.
They're just getting rubber banded and thrown all over the place. It's pretty cool to
Ooh,
actually watch.
what's that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That looks
Look at
neat.
Trad over there doing some cleric stuff.
Showing off.
You know, we should.
I don't
we should
remember
do, like,
that
some, you know,
skill
we should show off
From the
another
cleric
thing.
preview.
Is the changes to the fireball. I can do that right now with this
Ooh,
tiebreaker.
the fireball
So-
changes. So
Yeah,
community
a lot of
spoke, you guys.
out
The
there
community spoke
in
after the mage
the
preview.
World of the internets, in our glorious.
And they
community,
didn't like the
gave us
fireball
some great feedback about
animation.
both the fireball animation, as well as kind of its rooted nature. And actually, Trad is part of
Yeah, it was a very
helping to
rooted
overhaul
nature,
some of
that's
the
for sure.
changes.
That was the one big
on
thing I didn't like
combat,
about it,
which you
but-
guys will likely be seeing later when the NDA lifts on the alpha testing, but I could probably showcase the changes right now on this.
Yeah, I would expect that it's a fairly ambiguous
Sure, yeah.
action
So
bar.
the general approach that we're kind of taking based on a lot of feedback and just also just good combat design in general, philosophies is that we want to give
love that.
more
That
agency in the hands of the
teleport
player, and
blink animation.
the antithesis
That is
of
so cool.
Locking the player down for really long amounts of time. The sort of concept behind
But
that is
that
like you could make an
fireball
animation
is
that affects as glorious
epic
looking as
this way.
possible, but if it's taking away control of the player, none of that really matters. Especially
That's right.
the 100th or 1000th time you're using the spell, you're tired of that happening. You don't feel powerful, you feel the opposite of powerful.
For sure.
And so we're trying to give a lot of control back to the player while they're using these abilities, so they can still control their movements. They can
Look at that black hole.
they can react
That's
simultaneously
insane, man.
while they're taking actions, and we just want to get overall more of a fluid flow, I guess, of combat, and that's kind of the general design philosophy we're using to approach the overhaul.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been watching.
That's
the
fair.
combat
That is
strike
an
team
excellent
kind of
design
implement
philosophy,
some of these changes,
and
it's
thinking
definitely,
that
I think, looking good. I think
about it
players are
long
gonna be
term in that
pleasantly surprised
a
with some
combat
stuff.
effectiveness
Obviously,
and hey, yeah,
all of you out there who are
you've cast
waiting
this
to see all
spell
of
for the
these
last
changes,
year that you've
remember
been playing the
these are
game. It
iterative
doesn't need to be big,
changes, and
flashy,
they're
fancy
kind of
anymore.
rolled out in
It just
different
needs to be
phases, so you're gonna
effective.
see kind of
It
the
needs to
early-
feel good and
the early
fluid
aspect
and
of them, and don't
synergized
expect
with the
them to be
rest of
fully
your
polished
abilities in
or all the
combat.
animations to have yet been adapted for
I
kind of what's
like that
necessary.
approach.
We just
I
wanna
wasn't
collect
opposed to the
data on
animation of
use
the
these
old
skills
fireball
and whatnot,
myself,
as
but
we
I
kind of roll
didn't
them
like
out
the
to
jump,
testers.
the
What do we
jumping
have here?
effect.
It's like some little village area or something.
Because it
Oh, yeah.
locked you into
Oh,
that
yeah, by the
spot
way,
in that
this is
animation. You
actually
couldn't
a
just,
dev build, so
oh,
might
I
see
need to
some,
run and over
capsules.
here now because
Yeah,
something's
Oh,
decided
yeah,
to target me and come towards
Good
me, and
call,
I'm
that's
just a
right. Yeah, if
squishy
you
little
guys were just
cloth
watching
wearer.
some of those abilities they
Granted, you
had,
don't have to wear cloth as a mage. You could wear
some
plate
test
or anything in
capsules around
between.
them kind of show the
But
perimeter of the effect.
you don't want to be locked into that
what is this?
cast. You want to be able
It's
to
researcher
move,
Brenda.
even if that means you don't get
Brenda!
to cast anymore.
Brenda!
You want to be able to get the heck out of the way.
She
Right?
just says hi. Oh. Am I a new expedition member of the Final Light Academy? How did she know? Oh, not yet. Should we become expedition researcher? Oh, we have to speak.
So, one thing I notice here is the mini map, and this could be just because it is Alpha 1 still, if almost pre-Alpha 1, if you will. So there's a lot of things that aren't fleshed out yet, to be expected, right? But I wonder if this is going to be an intended design of the mini map. I am spoiler alerting a little bit, knowing what's going to come in the next couple minutes of the video here, in regards to discovering a map for your area, if you will. But I'm curious if this is going to be kind of the default if you haven't done that yet. If you're just going to see kind of a rough layout of, or not even a rough layout, but just positional markers of things in the environment around you, such as your enemies. All these little red triangles are all like potentially hostile creatures. You've got a vendor over here with the item thing, and we'll have to see what's under the player arrow there, if that's some type of quest giver. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. But I'm hoping that the world and the map and everything has to be discovered to an extent, and is not just here's your world map, open it up. Everything I imagine will be grayed out in a sense, and as you run around you'll find it, but you can see the shape of the land and everything like that. I hope all that stuff is very, very hidden, and either you discover it yourself as you travel, or if you find like map pieces or something like maps of an area, then you can see maybe something a little bit bigger, or maybe even finding those maps. Different maps will have what game was it that did this? The Witcher 3 did this, where if you found map fragments or map pieces or certain maps for certain things, then it would show up certain points of interest on the map, such as a potential dungeon entrance, or places of that you. It's like, hey, there's something over here. Go look over there. You don't know. We don't know what it is yet, but go look over there. Guessing that's very skeletal. Wizzy had pointed out that the map showed exactly where pages for one of the quests flew to. Yeah, I think that comes up. I'll resume the video here.
All the way back to...
I think that comes up when they, after they obtain the
Is this
quest,
gonna send me back to the portal? I don't know if I want
to go find the map fragments,
Okay.
and then
Master Varus.
they open up the
Okay.
world
Oh,
map,
okay.
not just the mini map.
Got a little quest here.
Yeah, she's
But yeah, I don't want I want it to be
We don't want
truly
you here.
discoverable world. I don't
See,
want to have
what's
all that
over
information
here?
just
There's, like,
given
some
to us
text
like
stuff.
that.
Adam, you were actually.
Okay, so all the little arrows
too.
are
You're
your
doing a lot of
party
work
members,
for that, right?
and the bigger,
you
the
know,
yellow
it's really
arrow with the
important
circle
that,
around it
the
is you,
designers
and obviously
have
you've
the
got your
tools
field of vision to
necessary,
show which way you're looking,
to make
and
impactful
relative
combat
to the
and just,
to the
you know,
map
unleash
itself.
their full
And then you can see the
creativity, so,
quest giver
you know, really
has
excited
an
to be able
exclamation
to
point
work on
in a
that
diamond.
and, you know, give the designers what they need to really shine and make some really cool combat.
That
So,
happens,
yeah,
it's
it's
great,
been
like
really
tomorrow,
fun,
and
working
yes,
with Trav
I
and
like the
rest of
general
design team.
location thing,
Behind every designer,
and I kind
is
of
a
wish
skillful, talented
that
engineer.
they had gone after some of the map fragments in
giving
this
them the
video
tools
instead of
they
just
need.
straight into the dueling
You should talk to the surgeon.
aspect, because then we could have
what's
got
their
confirmation.
What is this guy? How
Are
did he get
those
this bookcase?
exact
What is that?
points
That's my
where
compass.
Oh, I want
Wait,
that.
those map fragments are along
I'm
the
GM
beach?
so
That's
cool.
the star.
Again, we'll
I
see this in a
genuinely
second,
have
guys.
not seen that effect.
Or
It actually looks
is
so
this
cool.
just
I wanna-
indicating you
you're
can
learning.
find them anywhere along this stretch of coast? Because some games do that. They'll put quest markers in the area,
Okay. What am I supposed
and
to
it's
do?
just to take you to that area, but it's not going to be exactly where the marker is on the map
Oh, I gotta
where
ask you
that
guys
thing
some
blew to.
question.
But it could be anywhere in that
I am
area,
new
and maybe
here.
it's
Am I a
static, and it's going to be the
cartographer?
same for every character that does this
Oh,
quest.
these guys are
Maybe
like
it's
a
a little bit
expedition that's
random.
Commissioned to
You
navigate
might,
the
you know, it could
virgin
have like
waters of
spawn
Verra.
points in a certain area.
Oh, this
You click it
person-
once,
this
it
is life on
despawns,
Sanctus.
and then it respawns somewhere else a few seconds later for someone else to get the quest.
All right. Just
Item.
tell me what you need. I want this item. Jeff's gonna kill me.
Just be nice to them, and then just.
That's
let
going to
them
be an
know.
interesting
No.
thing to test too.
Okay,
It's
so
going to be
apparently
quest
Sir
item
Jensen
spawn
has
times,
a sweet tooth,
as well as monster respawn
or
rates.
somebody does. And we
Depending
need
on
to
how
discover these
populated a
sweets.
server
I
is,
also
to,
actually have
it
a
would be
sweet tooth.
interesting to see if certain
Oh, by the way, there's the,
values can be
map of,
dynamic a bit.
Alpha.
So if you've got
Right on here.
more people in
Oh,
a
is it
zone or
really?
in a
Yeah,
even on
yeah.
a server as a whole, its
Oh my
spawn
gosh.
rates,
Wait,
at
let's
least
compare.
for trash type monsters or everyday
It
monsters
is.
and resources,
has
are
these,
slightly
icons,
increased, just to accommodate for the extra
It does
people.
have the icon. That's pretty awesome.
All right, so let's have a quick
does.
peek at this mini map here, or this world map rather. So we can see, it looks like castles. It looks like a castle or possible node buildings. We've got a dragon flying thing here. We've got like, these almost look like the dungeons or spawn icons from the Witcher 3 map as well. You've got like little tower bell things here. Could be like statues, or some other point of interest, point of power. Hey, there's the volcano. Wow, Blade and Soul sort of thing. I'm hoping that there's not that sort of quest to begin with, though, to be honest. Wow, this was some new meaningful stuff. From what I've read recently on the wiki when it comes to the leveling and questing, when I was doing some of the research for my progressions video, or progression systems video that last week, maybe if I remember I'll put it in the card. If not, it'll be probably linked at the end of the video. Anyway, there won't be a lot of repeatable quests to give that really grindy aspect, and quests should have some type of tie-in. Almost everything in the game is going to have some type of lore-based tie-in to it. So depending on your level of interest and engagement in the overall story and all the sub-stories going on in the world, things should have some type of meaning, whether it's just helping this NPC deal with some shit that's going on in their day-to-day life, or it's something a little bit bigger than that as you work to rediscover who lived on Vera, what were the races and what has happened here over the last X amount of years since, you know, the mass exodus to Sanctus. I not feel like someone else is doing the same exact stuff as me, even though I already handled the issue for that NPC. Yeah, I've talked a bit about that before too, and I agree with that 100%. It's how when you load into a game, an MMO game for the first time, and it's like, hey, you're the one hero that can save us. You're gonna save the world and do all these great things, and you load into the game after that first cutscene, being all hyped up to be, oh yeah, I'm gonna go be the hero of the world. And then there's 100 other people around you that have all been told the same thing and are all doing the same things. And when they do the things, nothing really changes in the world. You can go and create it all, and guess what? You can zone right into the same area with everyone else and keep doing it all. But I really wonder how you can change that to make it. I mean, I guess the first part is not developing a narrative and an expectation with the player that they are going to be the savior of the world, the hero of everything, and the sole person that can bring this world to light, if you will. Get rid of that BS. Just I don't need that to be engaged in my character, right? I don't need to think that I can fight to be the absolute best. Knowing that I'm getting in a solo RPG game, absolutely sure. You can do that. You can do it successfully. Because everybody's playing their own flavor of the game. But in this one, in an MMO, you can't do that. So I agree, Dread. I hope there is going to be a level of redundance, if you will, where players... You know, you could go do a quest and then I can come along right behind you and do the same quest for the same NPC that requires the same things. But it would be really cool, like, maybe this NPC needs to build a building that got destroyed somehow. So he offers a quest. The first quest, it says, send somebody out to gather some wood. So you pick up the quest, you go out, you have to gather some wood. Now he offers another quest to the next player. But instead of going out and gathering the same wood, maybe they go out and gather some stone. And maybe somebody else goes to gather some water. And somebody else, as these quests are getting turned in, the building is being developed. Now people can go out and get items to put, or even just raw materials, or monster drops, or whatever they are, to now start developing things to go inside the building, start furnishing it. And if it's going to be a place of business, start gathering things for the person to be able to sell and market. That would be a really cool dynamic quest line, but I do fear if you're going to populate that for all the quest giving, that type of dynamic for all the quest giving NPCs in the world, just how insane does that quest table look? For a world the size of Vera, with 103 or 103 nodes that are unique and dynamic. I know there's the 15 that are associated with the 5 castles or whatever, but those are static nodes. Yeah, I agree. I think that, to me, that's the only real solution. That combined with the fact of not premising your gameplay with the fact that you are the end-all be-all of this world. You're just another participant here. You're a cog in the machine, man. That's all you are. A tooth on the gear, even, of a cog in the machine. You know, like those things combined, I think, could lead to that. But I do fear that amount of quest development is very, very intense, and will probably get a little old as you level up one node and then move on to another node and another node and another node, where these same types of quests keep repeating. But in a world like this, I feel like that's unavoidable, to have repeat feeling quests and objectives as you go from leveling one area to another area to another area. So we'll see. Just spitballing things here, but That's the start of a really good conversation, I feel. It would be interesting to sit on a round table with developers and get their take on it, because I do feel like it's a lot of quest writing involved with that. I do like the look of this world map. You can obviously see here's the hard line of the Alpha 1 testing area. So this is it right here. And I very much like that the quest logs, the quests and everything is incorporated here with the map, and it's all tied together. I think that's really, really important. There's a fine line between
that is funny
convenience and immersion breaking, and this falls in the line of convenience for me. I don't want my gameplay to feel cumbersome and like a chore, but I do want it to feel very immersive, and not like everything is just handed to me.
Shards? Oh, we need to finish this quest.
Maybe by the time I'm on my 3rd or 4th alt and I've done all the things already, and I just like, you know what, just give me a boost just so I can just play my do this character or whatever, or
make friends with them, and then talk.
Have a skip button for dialogues if you're just doing things in the same area. But even still, with a constantly evolving
at
node,
least you guys are being responsible gamers.
The world is going to be changing around you as you grow and as you level. So, and then when you come back as a lower level into a more developed node for the first time, yeah, things are going to feel different. So,
and received the astrolabe.
Kind of just.
Now you can as well navigate.
Made my whole argument there a moot point.
Oh, look at these outfits. I like your outfits. Alright, I'm gonna go out here and try to navigate the celestial coordinate.
Rare miscellaneous item. No trade. Okay, so they can't trade that.
I don't know. Oh, here we go.
Does it do anything currently?
Okay, yeah. So he puts a quest item down there.
We're gonna find out. Here we go.
Oh, I'm not getting the pulse.
Oh, that's cool.
I am navigating celestial coordinates.
I gotta say, some of the recent VFX work that our team has been working on, it's just so nice.
Also, okay, I was just about to say, I hope you can zoom out from your character a bit more, because that's way too close for my preference.
A little cross here or something.
Even a little more than this, I would prefer to zoom out from my character, to be honest.
Okay, here we go. All right, on 3. On celestial coordinate. Celestial coordinates. Dread, what the?
I don't think I
Unbelievable!
You had one job, Dread!
Oh,
I love it.
That's fine.
You didn't even do the quest. I saw some spider webs over here, actually. We should check those out.
Ooh, interesting,
there's
interesting.
A Wayfarer over here.
Why are they behind?
He also has a quest. Oh, something you'll notice, by the way, guys, out there. We've talked about this before. You're not going to see, like, giant, question marks or exclamation points above people's heads. However, in a subtle way, we will indicate who merchants are and who quest givers are based on the color of their name. So the green names are indicating of a quest giver, and gold names will indicate a shopkeeper or merchant of some sort. Oh, what happened over here?
Oh, they killed the spider.
These webs spawn spiders if you attack them.
Oh, the web's destroyed now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's another web there too.
Oh, I said some other time.
Oh, hold on.
Welcome
I think
to Fine Menageries. May I interest you in the novelties and delights of the Verne Wildflower Extravaganza collection? Why is my only option?
That's right.
Some other time. I don't want to do it some other time. I want to do it now.
I think you already have the quest. You have to investigate these flowers right here.
Do I have the quest?
Yeah,
Wildflower Extravaganzas. I do have it. I'm gonna abandon it. Hold on.
Well, I'm inspecting the flowers. I'm getting ahead of you.
Oh, okay. Well, how did I get the? I wanted the
Ooh,
spider.
okay, I like that animation,
sure,
the
but
blue animation that he got when he accepted the quest. I thought that was neat.
Let's click on this net right here.
It's nice to have a visual confirmation in some way, shape, or form that you've accepted. Yo, Apple Bottom Jeans, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope you are doing very well. But yeah, I love this solution to that whole discussion that was had a while ago around immersion and quest giving icons. I love the colored nameplate idea, or the colored name idea. I think that is really, really cool. Really cool. Honestly, I can't think of a way that I would prefer it to be done. And obviously you can kind of see on the mini map to an extent too, but that might, again, early iterations of things, right?
Yeah, you can attack it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a spider!
Nice dodge roll back.
Well
Yeah, good
done.
fight.
Spider.
That was riveting. It was.
Whoa. Uh-oh. Attack of the mushrooms!
Oh, by the way,
I'm
guys,
sorry.
you'll notice there's no grass over here, and that's a bug. The grass is gone at the moment, but don't pay no mind to the grass.
It's alright.
It's
The
just a
spiders and
well-made
mushrooms were just grooming
Yeah.
the lawn, right?
We released the goats everywhere. They eaten the grass.
Yeah, wasn't it Bucky that said he had the lawnmower?
So what
Took the
what is
lawnmower
that
the
that
whole
he's
map.
doing?
That's all that happened.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
What do I do with these plants?
You just talk to 3 plants right here and 1 right here. That is mushroom.
Oh, I like the little tiny mushroom.
And then I think there is another one.
Look at
That's so
pretty
cool. I
mushroom
love
is
that
under
glowing under there.
Oh, right
That
here.
looks
This one
wicked.
Right here.
Where?
Where am I standing?
Oh, wait.
On the other side.
Like, just knowing how early iteration assets a lot of these things are too, and that there's still,
Oh, no. Oh, no.
they're gonna be so visually stunning.
Not like these. I made it up.
Giant mushrooms in the background everywhere.
Alright, it's a giant mushroom.
Alright, you got all 3 completed?
Ooh, you get a
maybe?
climate.
Did you talk to this one?
Oh, so you might only be able to
What are
grow
we
certain
setting?
things
There's
in
only 3
certain
of them.
climates or certain
Okay, then
areas.
just talk to the Wayfarer.
That's
I have
that's
browsed
awesome.
your collection. No, I'm a mage. Ah, you have many talents. Okay.
Now you
Alright.
have to clean for him.
I have to clean?
Yeah, you gotta remove these webs, you gotta polish off these
I
vases.
look like a peasant. I don't clean.
Gotta rip off these
How dare you. I'm gonna go talk to this person.
I don't clean.
Explorer Antoine. Oh, this is pretty cool.
Quest
I can make a book.
acquired.
Did you pick it up?
No?
You have to left click on it.
Oh, this is interesting. I actually get a dialogue option to say, no, I'm a cleric. So it must be unique to me.
Oh, I got it
Oh,
now.
interesting.
Oh, yeah, it is
Okay.
a unique too.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thing for me.
That's
Alright, now
pretty
you,
cool.
you wanna
The
create a
emergent
book for him.
gameplay.
Try not to mess it up.
This must be where turn pages into books. Okay. Yes.
Hey, the table moved.
I'll
You just
clear some space for the menu. Oh my god. Oh no!
ah!
What's happening?
What did you do to the book? What happened?
Kill it! Oh, we just killed a bird.
Cleric
Those pages are gone.
They blew away. Where did they blow away to?
I love that. I love that. Like, there's
And
a
if you highlight the
reason
question,
why
you
the
were
pages
location.
blew
No.
away.
All 10 pages.
I don't see
Oh,
You have to
here we
select
go. Here
the
we go.
missing work on the map.
a draft in progress.
Oh, you have to turn in. You have to confess that you lost all his pages, all his life work.
No.
All
I'm
his
so
life work.
sorry, Antoine.
Sorry, Antoine.
Steven was trying to hide it from Antoine.
He said, "Oh no, another mistake." He's ready to hear this. This mistake is mine this time, my friend. Well, a bird attacked and took your manuscripts. Oh wow, he didn't. This is not his life work. He just said it was garbage.
My life work is garbage. It's fine.
Oh, sad.
I amounted to nothing. My parents
Wait,
were so
where are these
disappointed
at?
in my life.
It's okay, you can press M.
Yeah, missing
And I
work. Oh, they've blown everywhere, all over the shoreline.
All right. So let's hold up a second here. So this is what Wizzy was talking about. This is what a few other people were talking about. That we can now see what appears to be the specific locations of the pages on the map. So there's 10 pages missing. Actually, technically that's 11 pages, is it not? 10 pages missing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's 10 dots. So that kind of tells me that perhaps these are showing more exact locations. Now, perhaps there's a radius in which that page can spawn in that tiny little area there. But it does look like, and potentially, given the level of detail they've gone into, you could hover your mouse over one of these icons and it would even tell you which page you could find there. But I concur with that statement. I'm okay with showing a general area of where they are, where they might have been, if that's not going to be given in description. And in a quest like this, there can be no given description because the bird came in and tore up the pages, they got caught on the wind, and they blew around. So it's not like you can talk to Antoine and be like, oh, the pages blew around in this vicinity because that's where the wind always takes things. That would be a little ridiculous. And yes, that's how Antoine sounds. Tad pretentious, but really hates his life because, you know, garbage life work. But anyways, I don't know if I am a big fan of this. I want a general area of where to go, and then I want to have to discover things myself a little bit. So if this is giving an area yay big that this page can spawn in, okay, I'll compromise. I'll compromise and I'll meet you halfway with that. But if this is showing like, okay, the page is like right here, it's going to be right there every time, I don't like that. I don't want that to be the thing. I was actually really hoping that as well, Dread. That the alpha quests that we see, or any of the quests that we see, ideally before retail release, are there to test the questing systems and the mechanics and whatnot behind it, but that the actual quests that we get in the retail world will be fresh and new for everyone. That has been my hope the entire time. I know quest systems for different types of quests absolutely need to be tested and thoroughly. However, I don't want anything that is going to break lore too early. So there is a very good point that you have, Dread, and that could absolutely be the case. We might also be seeing a little bit more hand-holding with quest results to help speed up the process of completing quests with the interest of testing these systems in the short windows of testing that we have right now. So that is also something to consider. At the very least, just like with the mage's fireball, if this is something that we really don't like, now's the time to speak up about it and provide context as to why we're not fans about it and what we would like to see, and give them an idea of, okay, this is what we don't like about it. This is what you could do to improve it in our eyes. And as we all do that with our own opinions and our own flavors, perhaps we will see either they will address what I said about this just being an Alpha 1 specific thing, or we'll see that they'll acknowledge, okay, this is why it's this way, or we'll look at some options to compromise and change it a bit to make it more desirable. But I feel like the context of the quests are they're probably very much written for this, and I doubt we'll see them in the live game. Either that, or these quests are just going to be really not tied to the overall story arc of the world of Vera or anything that we're really going in. This is just going to be like some random dude that needs help doing his day-to-day stuff and, you know, recovering his garbage life work off the beach. Well, he weeps into a bottle of mead, you know? Maybe that's what we do for now.
What? I mean, I'm not gonna go help him find that. That's his job. Let's go for you.
Let's go grind mobs instead.
Yeah, let's go. We should duel.
Alright.
We should duel one another.
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna set the health to the exact same amount.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. Wait,
He's trying to duel with 3k health.
Let's get on the beach.
Yeah.
Let's get on the beach.
Okay, let's make 2 parties then.
Okay. Wait,
and I mean,
cleric.
Unbelievable. Right,
well, what if you could? We should equal out.
I
the duel.
agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
I doubt we'll see something quite like that.
Alex and I are
Then again,
top tier PvPers.
wait, what are your guys' classes?
if the mage fireball damage is still in there from like before my changes, it's going to just destroy us.
Whoa! Dread was flying on his horse.
Super OP, okay? People
Onslaught's
are
pretty
sleeping
good.
on Onslaught.
I don't think it's sleeper. Man, it's a
If
gap
we
poison
hadn't
that
seen
just
all the icons on the
knocks
map
you
of where
down.
those
It's
pages
just
blew,
OP.
Wait, can I just show off?
you might have no idea where to go
Rhinoceros.
at all, right? So like having a zone of like, okay, they landed around
I haven't
here,
seen that one yet.
just so you're not running around all over the world for the next 10 hours
how
of your
it
game
runs.
time trying to find that
Oh, wait,
last
let me
page
use
or
the
two
sprint so you can see
to
how much
complete the
faster
book.
it is.
Because there's people that'll get stuck on it like that.
ready?
There's also people like me that,
is
okay,
one
if this
powerful
is going to take
designer.
me too long,
Okay,
I'm just going to say the heck with it. Ideally,
Oh my god!
quest hubs, you'll be able to pick up a bunch of quests at a quest hub, or I don't know, when you go in there. And
This crap
those
stuff,
quests,
man.
they might take you
Still
around a
on
little bit,
defense.
but you
Yeah,
can
that
do them in a
grab,
bit of
man,
an
it
order, a bit of a
cycles that
flow.
defense buff,
You don't,
like-
it's not
Dude, I saw
grab
you-
one
I saw you
quest,
talking
or
about
grab
that in
5
chat.
quests,
I was
go
like,
do
what?
one, come
Yeah,
back,
he has 200
turn it in.
health.
Then go
Oh,
do
I didn't
another,
even
come
do
back,
that.
turn it in.
Oh,
Go do
oh.
another, turn it back,
No,
turn
no.
it...
Why not join the party, bro?
Not just
Oh,
like
okay,
that, but
hold
actually
on.
going around, complete several of them,
1,000?
then
Only
come
1,000? I
back.
think we should do 2,000. I think that's
To
better
me,
value.
that's
Wait,
the way you really
why am
want
I
to do
in
it.
Trad is
Slurpee's
the
party?
combat designer here. Trad, what do you
The
think?
raw development
Alright, you might wanna
process,
leave the
can we
party.
interpret?
No, he's in mine. Dread's
Yes,
in my
yeah,
party.
we
yeah.
absolutely can misinterpret things.
Let's see.
But they're very
Jack,
open
come over
about
here.
that
I
stuff
see
too,
you on my
right? So if it's something
okay.
that the
Yeah, it
community
said
brings
Slurpee
up,
invited
they'll
me, so
address
I
it and either say, yes, this is just what you're going to see
okay,
for alpha
so,
phase, this is just a testing
let's see,
environment,
we're fighting things that are
and
200
how
health
we're
that
running that
die
testing
really fast.
environment,
I say 1,000
or
is
no,
good
this is what we're
starting
actually
point,
planning
yeah.
to do.
Yeah,
They're very
let's do
open
that.
with communicating that because they don't want misinformation out there.
What's the
It's-
mana being set to?
And that's just part of the
Good
double-edged
call.
sword that they've exposed
Oh,
themselves
I
to
have a
it.
problem.
Mana.
I have a
Let's-
problem. I can't set my health
Have
to
you seen this
1,000
2v2
because
before?
it doesn't set my cap.
Okay, we gotta-
I have
So you guys
seen
gotta
this.
match my health.
Yes,
Let's
but
match
not
this.
where I've actually got to sit down and really
2764.
focus on it. It was
Yeah,
on
it's
my
gonna be
phone
one
while I
point,
was
but it's
working,
gonna be
so
764.
I was glancing over as
And
often
what
as
are
I
your
could.
guys' classes?
Tank and
But
mage.
I know the tank
Oh, okay, yeah, we
annihilates
got
here,
this.
so like that's super
yeah,
cool.
sure.
Just focus down Slurpee first. He's the maid.
Not from us ashes, but from new.
He
Potential
knows his
fans?
strategy now.
Yeah.
That's
I've
the
got
real
rings.
big danger. Is there is going to be misinformation, and
getting on a mountain
you know
just
some
to
people
turn
are
around.
only going to see that misinformation.
know.
They're not going to
Ready?
get a chance to see the
I am
Do we
ready.
need to flag?
clarification that may
Control F,
come
yeah.
out
Alright,
afterwards,
sorry.
or
tell me
the
flag
accurate
command.
information that came
Oh,
out from another
Control F.
source.
Yeah.
Make sure we highlight it red.
That
Get
is
a little circle on the
the
ground.
other side of the double-edged
Alright,
sword,
here we
right?
go.
Is
Good luck.
on one hand you have a chance
Alright.
to be open with your potential community and get feedback, to incorporate that feedback and truly develop a game that people are really going to love, along with providing context as to why things are the way they are,
Oh, he got
Goddamn.
me!
so as to set proper expectations and be like,
got
yeah,
me.
you're not just gonna be able to please everyone.
I got like CC'd.
And the other side of it is, of course, misinformation is going to get out there. Things are going to get misinterpreted, and a lot of people are going to
told
see
you.
only that information.
Oh
So that's the risk of it.
Look at my little gravestone. Are you
Those
looting
gravestones
our
are cool.
bodies?
Oh yeah.
What is
I'm gonna
wrong with
say-
you people?
I'm gonna say burst DPS wins in 2v2. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, well,
I like
to
the
be
raw
fair, we're level
development. I
10.
want them
But
to be
let me,
careful
let
when
me,
we're playing live stream.
let's try this again.
I would like them to definitely
I got immediately CC'd
maybe
by,
comment on
Adam.
some of the things that we might see
that was
during the video, or while we're seeing it in the video,
I do the CC to the mage.
so that
After
there's
this,
clarification
stream, by the
right
way,
then
I
and
wanna
there,
have
not
some
something that
practice
has to be
fights, 'cause I have not
pursued
gotten
after the
to
fact.
experience PvP in this game yet. I'm just throwing the excuses out.
I like that he's
now.
already revived, but he still
Oh,
has the
yeah, I actually had a
respawner
good
up,
plan.
respawn window up.
Okay, I know what I'm doing for this next one.
Alright, we're ready?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
ready.
wait, no, hold on, wait. I gotta think about what our master plan here
But
is.
yeah, tanks, OP.
We need to go in like separate TeamSpeak channels and strategize.
No,
Yeah.
here, wait, hold on.
Nah, I have a strategy. I am so confident. Here's what I'm gonna do. So tank has an axe you throw
Plan
that's a
live
CC,
stream,
right?
Steven, don't miss.
So I'm gonna onslaught Steven to knock him down, turn around and throw my axe at
It's
Trad.
true.
I don't think
It's
they
very,
have any
very
counter
true.
to that.
No, I
They'll-
got it. I know what I'll do. Okay, let's do
Like
this.
for the most part, they
Alright,
have
Let's go.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
go.
they have the overall idea of
Alright,
what they're
let's see
gonna
that
do.
TPS.
Steven will often
Oh,
say a little
okay,
bit more
you did
than
it a
what
bit
what
soon
he's
there,
supposed to say. You can
What?
usually tell by the look on Margaret's face. when that happens. But everybody knows that about him, right? And yes, I agree. It's part of his charm. It also really shows his passion.
My
and
heals aren't doing shit. They're not enough, man.
Oh man, annihilated.
Double DPS, dude.
Dude, that tank is so strong.
Dude, I think I want to know if he's got like the pre-nerf fireball.
I don't know. I don't even have a chance to fireball. By the time he's on me, I'm CC'd and
But yeah, having, you know, in the video footage like this,
we need to switch to tanks.
I feel like there's not a lot of. Because it's often done the night before the live stream, there's probably not a lot of chance to review it, to touch base on things like the icons on the map, the quest icons on the map, and what their design intention is around that.
You should switch to tank.
I'm actually switching.
We'll see. It's definitely, if there's a discussion going on the forums around it, absolutely something worth talking about. Hey, there was one of the pages. Did you see it on the ground there?
Yeah, you need to get off your mount.
Oh, I might have gone back a little too far. Please hold.
My heals
I don't know. I don't know if you can take damage from your own ground effects or AoE effects.
Dude, that tank is so strong.
Like, you shouldn't. I don't think you can hurt your party members, but non-party people, if they are flagged as a combatant or corrupted, I do believe can take damage from it. If they are not, if they are not flagged, if they are considered a non-combatant, then I believe you don't get hit by AoE
Stop looting my body.
abilities like that. Single target, you can still hit anyone anywhere with it.
Unbelievable.
Look,
I believe friendly fire is in the present. Yeah,
okay, that's what's going on.
Alright,
I'm gonna change it up.
It's an interesting concept to see if you should take damage from your own AoE abilities and whatnot. So there you go. Right over here, you can see it's got glowing effects above it, and it very much looks like a page. At first, I thought it was a resource, like a harvestable resource or gatherable resource, but as we get closer to it, it very much it's just a white square on the ground, which looks like a piece of paper. Right after walking his fire. It could have been fire dots because he was fighting another mage, and the fireball does have a burn element to it as well. Plus, the tank could be doing a bleed. The tank does have a bleed ability by level 10 as well. So there could have been some damage over time as well as multi-hit type things going on. So that's absolutely a thing. But yeah, so there's a page. Now, we don't really see anything on the mini-map. Even as he moves away. Oh no, there is a quest icon. Look at that. There was a quest icon there on the mini-map.
Yeah, you need to get off your mount.
There was a quest icon there on the mini-map where that page was. So I wonder if that does line up on the bigger map.
That's why I'm getting a loading screen. Okay, go ahead and send me.
That's an interesting
Alright, there we go.
interesting thing to note
there.
there.
Did you switch to?
I'm a mage, but I need to test something. Hold on, let me see what happens here.
No, it's just 200 damage.
Okay, I think this is
Hold on, I just need to test something real quick.
Hold on, I want to test something.
Yeah, get away, get away.
I'm just testing. No, that was just a test.
That is crazy
We're
though.
just testing.
The tank has 2,700 HP.
Alright.
At
What are we doing?
level 10. I know they did some modifications,
I'm telling
but
you,
still.
we need a tank, but okay, let's do it.
You can't miss
Focus
combined
fire
with
the
the
tank.
crest.
Kill the tank
Yeah,
first.
that's a bit much. I am okay with the sparkles. I am absolutely 100% okay with the sparkles in the environment.
Give yourself that 2764 hit points.
Although,
2764.
Oh, you know what I wasn't using? I wasn't using.
if it's something
That's what I need to use.
like just a regular everyday quest, I am okay with that. If this was a legendary quest
Dread, you need to switch your hit points.
to ultimately pursue a legendary item, that shit needs to be as hard as can be, and that means no sparkles, no visual effects or indicators beyond what the item itself is and does
Let my hair down
should
for
be
this.
present.
There we go.
Oh, your HP.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it needs to be tucked under a rock, in a cave, underwater, in the belly of the Kraken, or anything like that, you know? Like, it doesn't need to be the most impossible thing in the world. Like, you gotta turn over 1,000 rocks before you find this thing.
Alright.
But
Hold on. Let me set my mana.
it should not be obvious beyond what the
We don't even
item
have to set mana over here.
provides
Just that
itself.
good. The fight's
For
ended
for
quick.
the really hard, the
Should I
really
wear my helmet or
rare,
not, or let my hair
well
float?
rewarding
No, just let
quests,
it, 'cause
I
otherwise
want
it's
those
gonna-
truly
Alright, I'm ready.
feel
Let's do this.
legendary.
I'm ready.
And I believe that is something that has been mentioned before.
No! No! Oh, I got sucked in the blood.
What is the effect he's got? What is this? He's got a dot on him there. He had one. There's the burn. There's something else. That might have been a heal.
Hold on.
That's
Wait.
clicked very quickly, like 0.5 seconds or one.
got
1
help
second
here.
seems
Dude,
reasonable
that's stun lock.
for a dot, but
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Tell me what that stun lock was so I
Oh.
do next.
So the black hole didn't seem to stop Slurpee
I'm
from being
gonna
able to
find out
cast
when we're-
something either, which is cool.
No! Oh, man.
Yeah, I like the look of combat.
I was doing pretty
I
good,
really
but
do
then I
like
got
the look of the
locked out.
combat.
You guys are
It looks
making me
fun.
look bad. They're gonna call me a clicker and make fun of me.
Alright, fine, I'll go take
Listen, I'm an old man, alright?
Alright, let's do it 3v1. I got kicked.
I wish we had seen
Out of
Steven
my
play another
body. Yeah,
character.
Got him out.
Party.
Yeah, murder the tank!
He is absolutely a
Kill
clicker
him.
and it's hilarious.
Oh, no, I
I love it.
was doing too much trash.
The live stream,
How do I
were
measure where you're
you watching the actual live stream
I was
after
trash
Bob?
talking too much. I guess I deserve this.
Hold it. I've got like a
It was a
book
lot
going
of fun.
Got a grab.
Oh, he's got crabs.
Listen, I just want the broader audience to know that my strengths are at, you know, helping to design
Yeah,
the
you were nice.
systems of the
You,
game, not
you
so much
saw how
playing.
crazy chat was about calling him a
Me
clicker
too,
after.
me
It's
too.
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Alright,
Oh,
age of
so
my
the bag
PvP
icon,
days
I
have
think that's
long
something that
since
you can
passed.
loot.
Don't worry, we'll,
'Cause that's
we'll
where
be
that
fine.
crab
We
just
still- we have
died.
something to aspire to.
So that means you can probably go
Ah.
loot that corpse. I bet that's what
Oh,
that
yeah,
means.
see, the animation.
Whoa, look at the defensive.
Look at how strong he is.
That's
Oh, I'm
insane.
out of console on accident.
Oh, they got one.
Got him.
You
Got
I
him.
meant
power
I
here.
meant to press one.
The
I
dark
still
fire
pressed
will not avail you, flammable loop.
Yo, SS Lupine, how you doing?
Give me an
Alright.
extra
Hello,
1,000
hello.
HP, I would've won.
Unbelievable. I think
How
we went
long
way
is
over the
the
time
pre-alpha?
scheduled time for this video.
Pre-alpha
I'm sorry,
is
guys.
about
This is all
done.
unscripted. We're just having
This
fun.
is technically
Margaret's
Alpha
definitely gonna
1.
kill us.
Yeah, this game was
Gameplay
like,
that
oh,
we're
it'll
seeing
take
right
10,
now,
15 minutes.
recorded
10, 15,
from
30,
what,
you know,
2
whatever.
weekends ago now.
And I know we have a bunch of other stuff planned for
This
this
is
stream
this
too.
is section of the Alpha 1 testing was done
You're
under
just
an
gonna come
NDA.
back and she's gonna be,
Um,
like, disapprovingly
The
looking
NDA
at the
does
camera.
lift here very shortly
Unbelievable.
for April
But
1st.
anyways, guys,
or
we'll see you
April
back on
6th,
stream.
yes. Yeah,
Slurpee,
April 6th is
Dread,
the no
Autumn,
NDA.
thanks for
So
joining
that's
us.
when you
Had a
start
lot
to
of
see
fun with you
people
guys.
streaming
Keep up
and
the amazing
whatnot.
work. The community appreciates your hard sacrifices. To
Yes,
make
March
Ashes
19th. Yeah,
the
March
most
19th,
amazing
sorry,
MMO
is the
possible.
1 week
We will see you guys back on the stream.
non-NDA.
Bye, everybody.
And no, April 6th is supposed to be the start of the month
I
long
just want to. I just.
non-NDA test. I do believe that is the case. But yeah, the 1 week one does start, what do you call it? March 19th, I believe, is the date. Let me see here. Where do they have it? Honestly, thoughts on the game? I'm extremely excited for it. Extremely excited for it. It's really coming along nicely. They're very open with during this development process and communicating. We've got these monthly live development updates that they do live on Twitch. So this is the schedule. as we can see right now. So yeah, March 19th is the week-long non-NDA, and then on April 6th all the way through May 6th we have the full Alpha 1. So these are technically Alpha 1 previews. The official Alpha 1 is April 6th. So I had a little misunderstanding there. I thought we were in full Alpha 1 already, but we're not. We're actually still in the previews phase of it. So dread state of April 6th for the Alpha 1 non-NDA is the ticket here. No, Dread, I think you were right, because this is for the Alpha 1. This is still Alpha 1 preview, technically, that we're in right now, and will be till the end of the month. But no, they haven't changed the date, and there was no mention of the date being pushed back during this last update. However, they have said that they will not be opening up Alpha 1 pack sales at this time, because this test for February 19th through 22nd that happened, well, just not too long ago, there were some issues in there that still need to be worked on before they bring more people into the test environment. So that's fine, that's fair. It's supposed to have a Warhammer Online, Albion Online type of gameplay. I'm honestly not too familiar with Warhammer Online or Albion. As far as my understanding goes, the combat system itself is supposed to be similar to what Guild Wars 2 offered in terms of the hybrid combat system, hybrid between action and tab target. Very excited, nothing else like it. Seems ideals alone are amazing. Can they complete all their promises? We'll see. Yes, it's very important, and they've done a good job with keeping on to their scope right now. Whether or not that scope will expand and change in time, we'll have to wait and see. But as far as getting the game to launch, their scope is very specific. Broad, it's very large, but it's still specific, and they're seemingly pretty good at not straying from that and recognizing when they are discussing things with the community that could stray from that. They're not afraid to mention, be like, okay, yeah, this is not in our current scope, but might be something for the future. And they have tons of plans, not just for the MMO, but for the IP of Ashes in general, well into the future. So, you know, tabletop games, card games, maybe an Ashes Con. Come on, Ashes Con, yeah. You know. Yeah, official launch is definitely a long ways away, but we still have Alpha 2, or Alpha 1 really, then Alpha 2, then Beta 1, Beta 2, so people will be able to get their hands on the game much sooner than official launch for sure, if they're willing to put in the effort. I might buy then so I can be early. Hey, if it looks something promising to you, I highly recommend it. If you haven't created your account yet, SS Lupine, I do have a referral code that you can sign up with that I would be very much appreciative of. But yeah, shameless self-plug there. Yo, Mr. Proxtor, what's going on, dude? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Looking forward to trying AOC. At least Valheim is filling my gaming time right now. Yeah, I want to get onto Valheim. I've been committed to my WoW guild for raiding for a couple nights a week right now, and that's eating up a lot of my extra game time that I would put in Valheim otherwise. So 2 more years out for release at least. I think that's very reasonable. I think 2 years is very reasonable for a retail release. But in that time, like I say, we got alphas, we got betas, and you can get access to Alpha 2, Beta 1, and Beta 2 even right now. So it's not too bad. If, you know, you can at least get in there and start playing around and be able to have tangible experiences to relay your thoughts and opinions and improvements. Exactly, Applebottom. And that's the beautiful thing, is because Intrepid is not a for-profit, shareholder-pleasing organization, they are positioned very, very well. And the game's fully funded by Steven, by the way. On top of all the early backers and current pack sales and cosmetic sales that they do now, the game is well funded right now, and they're not looking to turn a profit for anyone. So the game is in as good of a position as it can be to meet that criteria of having a complete game, a polished, finished game, at launch rather than another Cyberpunk, you know? The level of detail is insane. Like, bear in mind, guys, we're watching this on my stream right now, so we're watching this in like, what, 1080p or so? This footage is in 4K, so if you go onto the YouTube channel and you have the ability to watch something in 4K, you can watch it in 4K yourself and really see. Hi, Lady Tilt.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Yeah, A2, yeah, it's not too cost restrictive. Absolutely, and I know everyone's in a different position right now, especially with COVID, but if you have the means to and it looks promising to you, I highly recommend getting on the support train for it. Probably going to test New World. I wouldn't mind checking out New World. Like, not something I'm going to commit to. Ashes is going to be my commitment for the future, 100%. I've made that decision, but I would absolutely try out New World. How do I haven't played Valheim myself. I've watched a few people playing it. I've watched Samord play it. He's playing it earlier tonight, and I've seen a few other people playing it, Bardtic and Tavernside. I've watched them play it. It looks pretty awesome. I'm not typically into that type of game, but that one looks really good. Like, I never got into Ark, never played Minecraft or anything like that. I know those kind of stem from the same type of game, I think. No board of investors to answer to. Don't have to worry about pay to win, and Steven is a gamer himself. Yeah, no pay to win, that's another huge thing. You can buy cosmetics. That's not pay to win, though. That's supporting the company. And that's supporting future content creation. That's like supporting expansions and things like that. So Valheim is sick, gameplay is great, and co-op is loads of fun. I am part of a big streamer game group, so we have a good community of players and dedicated servers we host for it. Nice, dude. Yeah, I've been invited by yourself and a couple other people to come play on dedicated servers. Try another MMO. Too many letdowns. Just waiting. Yeah, this is Twitch. This is exactly how you doing, by the way. Welcome. This is exactly why I went back to WoW Classic for now, to kind of just take over that, because it's not new. It's old to me. I never played vanilla WoW. I played during TBC, so it's the same game, but starting and doing content that I hadn't previously done, which is kind of cool. But I'm not learning and getting hooked on anything else. Like, I'm doing that to fill my time. I'm learning things in there and trying to enjoy it and whatnot. And this is the focus, though. This is the dream. And support your ability to ride a rabbit mount. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a time filler. I mean, it's fun. And I do stream it on here Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm enjoying the raids right now and progressing. And I'm going to stick to that. And I'm learning things. I'm an officer in my guild there, so I'm learning some stuff. Getting better at honing some skills there. And yeah, it's good for that type of thing, but I'm dedicated to Ashes. I do this video will be going up on the YouTube channel this week, but I'm doing weekly videos for Ashes on the YouTube channel right now. Every Friday they go up, so this is the passion, this is the focus for sure. But well, where did my play button go? Here we are.
Hold on, I just want to comment just real quick. All right,
Steven the Clicker has something to say.
Think about, you know,
is that clicking?
Sports teams, right? There are coaches who are really good at coaching, but they can't get out there on the field and play per se, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
another class. What class video do you want to see next? If you could pick any one class,
I mean,
what would it be?
Another thing is, I get pulled in 100 different directions each day at the studio, okay? So I don't have a lot of time to get in and
Ranger?
play and
yeah!
My
there you go.
prowess in PvP per se, okay?
Ranger's my choice too, because
I
as of right now, that's my pick.
You know,
that's my primary archetype choice.
That's
Granted, tank looks like a lot of fun, I'm not gonna lie. Tank looks like a lot of fun. Cleric seems pretty good. Mage looks like fun.
Was in about CC breaks and things like that. I saw.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, something I would just keep in mind, guys, as you're seeing this. You're
Fight,
saying
fighter,
fighter.
I feel is going to be a
"I'm
pretty
good."
strong class. I feel like melee is going to be really strong in this game.
Something to keep in mind, this is level 10
At least from a
gameplay,
PvP
right?
standpoint.
Our level cap at launch is 50. So a lot of things that you're thinking about, like CC breaks and, you know, different types of...
Hold on, let me catch up. I think everyone wants to see Summoner, and I want to know how busted. Ooh, Summoner. I feel like Summoner is something that we're not going to see for a while. I think Steven touched base on the fact that Summoner is one of those classes similar to the Bard, which I think the Bard's going to be the last one that we see. But Summoner might be right near the last, because the summons that it can summon, right? It could summon a tank, a DPS, or a healer type summon, or support type summon, I guess. They want to have those roles and characteristics kind of fleshed out from the primary archetypes before they design the summons into those roles as well, and how they're going to be balanced and fit. So I feel like that's something we might have to wait a little bit longer before we see the Summoner for that reason. Ranger was my first choice, but when I found out about the distance thing, not sure anymore. Like the minimum attack distance. That's pretty normal though, from my experience. Well, at least from like the Hunter and WoW, and I think even in Guild Wars 2, if you were playing the bow or ranger class, you couldn't shoot somebody if they were right in your face. That makes sense. I mean, it'd be very difficult to handle a bow if somebody's smacking you with a sword in your face. Having said that, you will be able to have melee weapons on you, and you will have abilities as such. A pure rogue, going the assassin route, nice. You're gonna be the dangerous guy on the battlefield, but that's all right because we're on the same side of defending the caravan, so we'll be friends. I'm leaning towards a Scion right now, the ranger and mage combo, but we'll have to see how augmentation fits. The soul bow sounds interesting too. The ranger and the cleric. A little bit of self-healing while being at range and being able to kite also sounds really, really strong. So we'll have to see exactly how secondary augments work with all that. And how can your ranger attack my fighter after? Yeah, so the ranger will still have melee type abilities, and I'm sure they'll also have abilities to create gaps. Because like that is something that we didn't really see outside of the blink ability and the black hole ability, which is still two strong abilities for the mage here by level 10. They don't have a lot of other kiting potential, like a slow or a root, other than the black hole. So if they get like a frostbolt type ability, which I'm expecting they will, it's probably by level 20, that'll give them a lot more ability to kite because they can slow or chill their opponent. That's the thing with ranged, is they need to have the way to kite the melee, but at the same time, the melee need ways to close that gap. So the tank, we know he's got the charge, which looks amazing, and he's got the scorpion chain pull to pull you in as well. And he's got some other range type abilities as well, but he's got two means of closing the gap on you and getting in your face. So we'll have to see where the balance is, and I hope there is a good balance between gap openers on the ranged and gap closers on the melee, and that should keep at least the PvP a little bit more balanced in that form.
Like skills, those probably won't really come on until a little bit later in the skill progression of a particular class, so to speak. So think about other MMOs you played and what it felt like to play at level 10 versus what it felt like to play, you know, at level 50 or something. And I would use that as a metric of comparison. Yeah.
It's also not done yet. Like there's a lot of stuff that we're kind of playing with on the CC break side. Some stuff that we have some cool ideas that we want to test out, but we got to test them out first, and we got to make sure that they all function and that everybody likes them. So so there's still a lot of stuff happening in that phase. So so just keep your eyes peeled.
I'll be curious to see if your weapons automatically change for you at that range, or what you have to do, what indicator you'll have of recognizing what your short range is, and when you do need to switch. And the biggest thing is I hope there's no dead
all the quests that were in there in that one little section. We're trying to put
now,
them in
I
cool,
know
interesting.
I know the size of your weapon, does matter, okay? Got you guys listening here? Size matters, okay? The longer your weapon, the bigger range, larger range that you have for your attacks, for your melee attacks. So, is there going to be a dead range? Like, is your bow no longer good inside of 3 yards, 5 yards? 10 yards seems a little excessive. So inside, let's say inside 5 yards, you can't use your bow. But if your longest melee weapon, be it like a pole arm or something like that, is a 3 yard reach, now you've got a 2 yard dead spot where you can't do anything. That's a problem. You should always have the ability to do something. So I hope that is something that's carefully addressed. Now, if you choose to go short swords or daggers for your melee weapons, and you've got, you know, pretty much just your arm's reach plus a couple inches, maybe there's a bit of a dead zone, but it could be filled if you went with a larger weapon. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I do very much hope that there isn't a dead zone where you can't use any abilities that require a weapon. President seems like skills themselves do what they want, ignoring your actual weapon. I don't know a lot about the weapon attack related skills. Fair enough. That's a lot of the combat system that we see in this form is not the combat system that will be in later in the game. They are working on another combat. I don't know if it's considered another combat system at this point or just like version 2.0 of this combat system. But the combat system as we see it, even though it is looking much better in this video than previously, is still not the final form. There is updates that they are working on that are going to be coming. Worried about using our range ability, and he comes in, runs in close, and can use the ability that starts the cooldown. Now if the range ability and close ones are on different cooldown, that'd be okay. Yeah, I would hope that we're not sharing cooldowns between those ranges for exactly that reason. That is a very good point. I know sometimes games like to do that, be like, hey, these two abilities have very similar effects, so they're going to share a cooldown, which gives you an important decision about which one you're going to use at any given time. But if those abilities occupy both your short range and your long range weapons and they're tied together, that could absolutely cause an issue. And unless it's going to go off anyway. But if it's, you know, if someone's charging right in your face and you're using an active target ability, meaning you have to be pointing and aiming at the person, and they get right in your face, it's going to be really easy for them to move, to point and dodge that ranged ability. So there's also that aspect of it too.
Places that you can discover and kind of have, you know, kind of like a self-contained story that if you follow along, you kind of get exposed to all of the alpha area. So that's kind of the goal there. Any quests that you...
was Imi's quest?
That was Imi's, yeah. You know, they're doing a great job doing some cool things that that now that we have a little bit of time to actually kind of like play with, these quests are getting more interesting and there's some more depth there, especially on the gameplay side, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
And then we also have, there's some really cool bosses.
He's talking about quest development.
That my guys are working on right now. We've got 2 party-sized bosses or bosses that are tuned to party size. And then there's 1 raid boss, which should be pretty incredible, like a true raid boss with true raid mechanics that you'll be able to find out in the open world too.
That I'm super excited for. And Steven prefaced this conversation right at the end of the video footage, coming in back to the discussion here, is that you can, like, level 10 content and what gameplay feels like level 50 stuff in other games, because you are going to have an open world raid boss tuned for that level that you can go and fight as a 40-man group and have actual mechanics and actual abilities on your characters that make sense and make the gameplay engaging. And they've said this several times. I have said this many times. The community has said this many times. All of you, is that it's about the journey, not the destination. and this game is gonna feel like, and like the gameplay is just gonna be the gameplay, whether you're level 10, you're level 50 with 1,000 days played. It's gameplay is gonna feel like gameplay. That to me is the most exciting thing. I might go cleric, my fave class in D&D. The cleric looks really strong. From what I've seen in the abilities in the preview video, the cleric looks really, really strong. I'm not gonna lie, the paladin class kinda, or even the high sword, the fighter and cleric, like I said, the soul bow. Cleric secondary looks really, really strong to me. There's too many flavors, man. 64 flavors of things to go and play and try out, like. But yeah, these quests being just for the alpha area, that's huge. That is absolutely huge.
Alpha,
so, I really like that.
Yeah, we're doing some really cool stuff on the content side. I think you guys should have plenty of cool things to do while you're in the game. So it should be fun.
For sure.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what if
you and your guys are guys and gals?
What if that raid boss levels with the node, right? So maybe it's a level 10 raid boss on not an encampment, but say stage 2 node, right? Maybe it's a level 10, but maybe when you go up to a stage 3 node, now it's a level 20 boss because it's been around in the area and fighting and all these things. I don't know. I mean, you have to deal with the fact that, okay, we killed this open world boss, so it should be dead, along with, well, it is an MMO, more people are going to play it. You can't just have a one and done, even in open worlds, so they have to have a respawn, if you will. But maybe as you level up the node, those certain monsters, and we know like the monsters and things like that in the area are going to level up, they're going to evolve and change. So maybe that boss has another form that comes at level 20, or is tuned for level 20, if you will, but comes when the node levels up. And then again, when it levels up again, it goes to 30 and all the way up till level 50 on a Metropolis node, right? So that content will always be there and relevant. Just need to look at what sub and religion to choose. Wow, we don't even know all the religions yet and what they're all about, so absolutely. It'll cover the, yeah, exactly.
Doing a great job.
I have a feeling it's going to be something dynamic like that.
You know, watching you guys
the boss could look different, like it looks like it's evolved a little bit and leveled up, you know, maybe it transforms like Frieza.
And just see where the game has come from and where it's at now and kind of project out where
I'm
it's
gonna
going to be.
take a quick washing break while this plays here, guys. I will be right back.
So, you know, I love the fact that we decided to go with the transparent development process. It obviously, as I've said, has been a double-edged sword, but at the same time, it's super rewarding to just watch the progress. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Keeping in mind that, you know, things will still be polished and progress and things will change, and, you know, not everything is there now, but you get to come along for that ride as we're building everything.
Yeah, this isn't there will be many updates to the game. Do not fret.
Yeah, we got a long road ahead,
yeah.
But it's cool to see it coming together, right? Like, this is a way for us to kind of vet things out real quick, right? And be like, okay, this is not working, or okay, maybe if we push this a little bit further in this direction, it'll work and it'll be awesome. So there's a lot of, like, we're playing with some of these spaces too, just to get your feedback as well. So part of that is being quick and putting stuff in quick so you guys can get quick feedback to it.
And I would also like to point out one other thing real quick. In that fight, when I ran away from Dread, I had full confidence that Trad was going to be able to keep himself alive because he was a healer, right? And I needed to drink a potion. So that was a tactical retreat to come back at a later date and hopefully save Trad, but he died a little faster than I had expected. So Trad, you're going to have to work
It was your fault, Trad.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to put this out. Trad GM'd.
So, would you guys abandon your healer to get 2v1 well you could run off and have a potion? For those of you guys watching the YouTube video, let me know in the comments down below. Would you do that? Would you abandon your healer in a 2v2? How would you play that? I don't know. I feel like I would have at least tried to throw a black hole or something to buy my healer some time. Maybe the level 10 raid boss will always be level 10. But due to the camp growing will allow you to use that item to raise its level. Yeah, could be, something like that. Put potion hotkey to instant drink. Yeah. What a novel concept where you don't have to click it, huh? You don't have to open your bags and click. Maybe it's on a hotkey, maybe it's just on the hot bar, but as a longtime healer, you done fucked. You never abandon your healers, man. You protect your healers with everything you got. If the healer's not the #1 target by the opposing team, they're wrong. If you're not protecting your healer, you're wrong. Now, how do you play that when it's 1 DPS and 1 healer versus 1 DPS and 1 healer? Well, that's up to you, but you try to get the jump, I guess. CC is your friend. You need to be able to switch targets. Then again, as he said, he's not the PvP type, so yeah. You're as high and dry and go find a group that... Yes, that's right. That's right. Even when I'm raiding, when I see things... I play a rogue in WoW Classic, and when I see something peel off towards one of the healers, I will typically go after that thing and try and grab it. If it's not being communicated that one of the tanks is grabbing it, you run the fuck over there and you start hitting the thing, whether you're gonna pull aggro or not. You at least try to kill it or give the healer a chance to, you know, you throw some CC on it or give the healer a chance to get away, get a thing. Having said that, in that type of environment, a raid environment or something like that, the healer should also try to get near one of the off tanks so the off tank can pick it up. But we also don't know if there's going to be a taunt in the game. That was one of the great discussions in our last video. Last stream. Does the tank even need a taunt? Should that be a mechanic that's just not in the game? This duel further reinforces my belief that a group of 8 will want at least 2 healers for PvP. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You would probably want to have one main cleric healer, and then you probably want to have a support like the bard or something like that, or a summoner, or somebody with a cleric secondary that can also kind of heal.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Just stand there and complain that you're out of range. Yeah, having a mobile and dynamic healer is very important, but at the same time, not all of them can do that. I can't.
And yeah, the team has
oh
been doing
man,
amazing
these
job.
environments are just gorgeous.
World and environment. And
I cannot wait to see the rest. Like, this is why this game is so far away in development, you guys. This is just the small Alpha 1 area, which is what, like 70 square kilometers?
Yeah,
the whole world is 400 square
In
kilometers.
that video, you might have noticed that there was a lacking
The amount of
vegetation
detail
and
going into the
grass.
world and environment that we see here,
a little bug
to extrapolate that over the entire size of the world and all of the different biomes and environments and terrains that we're gonna see. Not only once that's done, then you bring in your populations, then you bring in your quests and things like that. So
this one's my favorite.
Two clerics and a bard.
That are coming down.
Depending what your secondaries on your clerics are at, you could have one that's a little bit more focused on support, one's a little bit more focused on healing, but obviously both are going to be very good at healing.
I think Mia.
Things that clerics and ashes seem to be melee oriented to an extent. Yes.
Rocks kind of jetting out.
And they'll be able to wear plate. Like, they're not just going to be some squishy thing that you can just roll up and kill into stun lock or something, you know. They're gonna be
it's really funny.
They're gonna be beefy,
really different,
very beefy.
It's evolved quite
but if you have two clerics that can kind of play each other, that's gonna be really powerful, really hard to kill.
Pass of the corruption that exists in this area.
So the clerics that add a buff to the mob that allows us to heal when they attack it. The cleric has so much, like, and that's what I mean when I talk about a support cleric, is someone who has spent skill points on boosting up those abilities that apply buffs to your team and debuffs to the monsters, versus someone who's spec more into just the potency of their heals.
I'm sorry, Trad. I was just joking, Trad. You did an awesome job.
But this
I think both will bring a tremendous amount of value as a pair, as a group,
different area.
to any group they're in.
Some nefarious folks have kind of settled down, but yeah, this is actually on a totally different location than the last one.
That being said, I think as far as the 8-person party goes for PvE, that's where the balance is really happening for the one of each primary archetype.
But you know, we like to show the different processes, and obviously you get to see things as we go forward.
That's a cool beach hut.
Like that big rock structure that we showed you in the past.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to have that on a beach somewhere and have my stream set up in there. Maybe just a little bit better protection for rain. just in case. But I'd love to be able to sit there. That'd be fun.
Little underwater cave area.
Work in progress.
Looks pretty cool.
I didn't notice that before, but it was live. That's great.
You guys will probably see that in a future stream, but
The shipwreck's not in this one. We're still
I know.
in
I
the
pulled it
bottom.
out. I also pulled that out.
Some bard for the defense augments. We'll have to
Yeah,
see
there
what the
was a
bard
share.
brings to the
It's
table.
not on the
wasn't
screen
ready.
now.
Like
Yeah,
I
it
do
was
expect a
ready.
lot of buffs and debuffs
But I think we did show it off to some other people.
on the table from the bard, but
From
we don't know. I feel like
As
bard's
we
going to be
always
one of
say,
the later things, classes that are developed.
characters.
Absolutely.
So you guys you saw the timeless
Oh man,
terrapin
look at that thing.
in its infancy. you might
That
say.
thing looks so cool.
The gray box version of it. Now you're kind of getting to see it. With
The
all
ideal
the
for an 8
different
man PvE group is
textures
one
and
of each, but in PvP you can't expect 1.5 healers to
This
keep
is-
pace with 5+ DPS.
I
I've seen
designed
this
this
video. 2 can
feature.
go.
It's
Yeah,
so
no,
cool.
absolutely,
Like, every time I
absolutely,
see
Laura.
something, I'm like,
PvP is going to be an entirely different
Yeah, this guy's cool.
concept. Especially the larger group ones, they're going to be a bit of a
he's
shit
got
show.
4 eyes.
Sustainability is going to be so incredibly important. You're going to probably want 2
and then we
clerics.
have
You're probably also going to want a mage or 2
another
because of their
creation
gift
by
of the
Jim
magi to keep
So
those
cool.
clerics
Yeah.
going.
The Kieran.
Jeff
Depending
said
what
it
cooldowns
isn't
are
being
like and
announced.
mana regen and versus mana consumption is,
Yep. So one
that
of
might
them
be a
gonna
necessity
the,
and might become really,
yeah.
really strong.
One should be a note, and one should be something you find out in the
I
world.
can see
these are
tanks being
in-game
very
achievements.
viable in that. And yeah,
So
we'll
not-
have to
not
wait and see.
cosmetic.
There's a lot of potentially really powerful
And then the
comps,
next
I feel,
one
which
is our
I really
Howling
like. I
Wolf
like the
box.
potential for good diversity. And I
Which I
remember,
believe is the
I think it was
Happy Year
Steven
Bell.
mentioning that
Oh yeah, it's
there
your-
will
the
be a
Ox,
bit of
that's
a
right.
like
You know, I
a
was
rock
born
paper
with
scissors
the
type
Ox.
effective
you're the
balance,
Ox?
that there won't be necessarily be
I'm a
one
goat.
class that is
1985.
super dominant
rabbit.
over all of the other classes, but there might be one class that's really strong against several others. It'll also be weak to something else, or more than
That's like
one other
Guardian of the
thing.
Galaxy.
This is really
Which
cool.
I
This
think is
like
really
the,
important.
You know, non-textured version. So
I really
far.
wish I could play more than one role per
Maybe
tune.
next
I
month
want
I'll
the
show you
DPS
the
fighter and
final
then switch to
version.
tank if guild needed.
And then next up,
Oh,
we
like
have
a
some more
druid
water creatures.
in
So we have
WoW kind of thing?
little fish. You can kind of see the.
Oh, the fishies! Hope they're not
these are
running around
speed
sniffing my
rays,
bubbles.
And you're actually
Oh,
in
yeah.
the creation process.
One of the things you love about Final Fantasy 14,
one of
the
things
ability
that I
to
really
switch
dislike
kind of your
about
class,
some
your
MMOs I've played in the past with regards
not
to
class,
war is
but
that they always feel very
your
empty from
your
like
role
just a fish
on the fly,
standpoint. You never
if
really
you will.
see like lots of fish going around. Now, obviously, you know, you can get away with.
I
a lot,
like
you
it
know,
to an
maybe keeping those
extent,
fish
but
more,
at the same time,
client side, right? They don't have to be replicated across the server or anything, but at least it can populate the ocean so that it's, you know.
I don't think
has
any one class should be able to
in
do
it.
everything.
That's part
Especially,
of,
it shouldn't be able
I
to
think,
do everything very, very
creating
well.
these-
It's if
these
you're a
things
jack
that
of all
I
trades, you're a
think
master of none,
life, you know, that area.
so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have like so much water content. Like, we really want to make sure that it's just as well taken care of as our overlands.
Yeah, well,
You-
this
A giant
particular
crack
state,
Yeah,
right,
you can.
It's your ship.
Oh,
This particular
okay.
stingray,
So
I
you can
think, is
change
actually an
to
NPC,
whatever.
but the other little
You just
fish,
level
those
your
are just
tune,
kind
put
of
on
more
different
like,
gear, and
you
you're
know,
something else
effects
kind of
don't
thing.
think it would be targetable or anything. Yeah.
They'll just be swimming around. And then next up, I just
Wow.
want to show them off. They look really
Alts
cool.
are going to be a very
We've got
interesting
the
thing.
protect armor, which I know Steven tweeted and shared off on our social. And
Oh yeah, this is
This
Eli.
armor looks so
Eli
nice.
Did this armor. This is a protector's armor. I think he did a great job with it. I love the detail.
That looks so good.
Work on it. I think it looks very good.
I love that
It's
armor. Imagine your cleric wearing that armor.
no leg day. What are you guys talking about?
That could be
Yeah,
badass.
the textures.
But that's very synonymous to the Final Fantasy,
Yeah, the
like
way
the
that that
old
cloak is
school Final
nice, too.
Fantasy roles, right?
If you
Where
look at the armor
or
connections
idea
on it,
is that you could
on it.
any character could level any of the
And then
jobs.
the
They might
next
be
two
stronger
are
at like a red mage or
Concept art pieces.
a black
So
mage
this
or
one
a white
is
mage or
this
whatever it
little
is.
imagery. I think we might have shown
But
it.
you could
yes.
level all of them and then actually
Yeah, I think this is
take
Ricky,
abilities from one job that you've learned if you've mastered the ability and use it while you're
So obviously, you know, these
operating
concept
under
images,
another
they give
job.
Environment.
That's kind of always been Final
great
Fantasy's
direction on,
dynamic
you know,
that way.
the construction
And I really
of
like that they
specific
incorporated it into
levels,
Final Fantasy
that
14.
design is intending, you know,
Yeah, I think Ashes will be far more restrictive in that regard.
An environment then can implement.
It's Ashes is really built around player agency and risk versus reward.
It's a great job that the concept team does.
Decision making is meant to be important and impactful.
That resource to environment and character to
so
yeah, because everybody kind of an anchor.
That's one of the pillars of design for this game.
Really
so
quickly,
I don't think you will be seeing the ability to play multiple roles.
We meant something else.
Now,
concept is that nice like bridge between those two things. And again, to see this stuff like.
Having said that, they have said, this was a while ago now, that, like, let's say the tank, for example, regardless of which of the 8 archetypes you choose for the secondary archetype, that tank should be able to tank any of the endgame raid bosses. Some secondary archetypes might shine in certain encounters more than others, but you will be able to tank everything with all of the tank specs, so that it's not going to be like, hey, if you're not a paladin and a tank cleric or the tank, I forget what that is. Then you're wrong, and you're not going to get a guild invite. You're not coming to the raid. Sorry.
I hate
it's not necessarily going to be like that, unless the guild or that raid group itself is flawed in other areas, and they need a certain thing just to accommodate for that.
Let's try to get through 2 questions at least.
Yes, the artisan side. Sure. Guardian, thank you, Laura. The artisan side is restricted.
2 questions probably are going to.
Although it's less restricted than I expected.
Wow. That was some shade. Are you saying I'm long-winded?
He just wants to be thorough.
Our speed questioning.
In the sense that
unbelievable.
There's 3 branches, if you will,
from the forums,
in the artisan tree that you can choose to go down, and you can master any one of those branches and all the things in that branch.
Or do you get to choose?
Except I think the crafting one, they've mentioned that mastering all of them seems a little excessive, so there might be a limit of like 3 or something. I don't know if they've given us a definitive on that yet. That'll probably be subject to testing. But also mastering any one profession within those branches is no small commitment. It's no easy feat.
That is something that is possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it should be, but yeah.
On the guild name.
So like there's
for the next topic,
there's gathering, processing, and crafting. Those are your 3 trees within the artisan system. So gathering could be harvesting wood, mining ore and minerals. What's the animal taming? As well as I'm sure there'll be a couple other things in the gathering, like finding herbs. Those are all gathering. So you can master gathering,
make sure you know.
Which will then, you will be able to master each of those types of gathering, but you will have to put in the time and effort and everything required into each one of those to master even one of those, if that makes sense. Same with processing, crafting, which has a laundry list of different crafting professions. I think they are going to
many more.
Restrict that one to an extent on how many of those professions you can master.
It has a lot of numbers and stuff in it. Celestial Dreamer.
You can get all the way down to the very end of one and almost all the way in another.
The head of the family increase the size.
I know you'll be able to dabble in all of them to an extent. Before choosing which path you really want to focus on to be your master. And I don't know, I do believe, I think you can change it, but you lose all progress in the tree that you're leaving behind, or in the branch that you're leaving behind, when you pick up the new one. And there's no coming back to it.
Family can't typically, or won't be able to double its size by every member getting a marriage, and that is also one of the incentives.
The animal one does not have a which animal husbandry? Animal husbandry is processing. It doesn't have a crafting component. It only has gathering from from taming, and then processing, which is animal husbandry, where you just breed them. I don't think there's a crafting component to the animal one.
If it's no, you cannot. So essentially, if you're registered as a defender, and some people are by default registered as a defender based on their citizenship with the node, or whether or not that node has a alliance with another node's group of citizens, you will automatically be flagged as a defender, and that will preclude you from participating in the looting rights of a successful siege.
Anything else to add to that?
No, that's
Howard
long and short of it.
we still got some more. Captain
See, you're
Barman.
trying to make me be long-winded. I now
have more to say.
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable.
Keep talking,
Utter
keep
shock.
talking.
I love it.
Never get
Captain
through them all.
Barman wants to know about nodes. Will cities be influenced by the typography around them, or will they generate and expand on a flat plane?
Currently, the way that the platform system is set up is
I like
it's
this question.
capable of
We talked a bit
adjusting
about
the
it on the
topography
podcast, too.
of the node's footprint, regardless of the surrounding terrain.
I absolutely want the node to be
The reason for
incorporated
that,
and developed
is we
into
want
the
to have
terrain around
flexibility
it.
in the presentation of the node's layout. And
I know it's more
how
difficult
it,
to achieve from a programming
is
standpoint,
essentially,
development
both
standpoint,
from
but
an aesthetic
man, it
standpoint as
really
well as a
adds to the
mechanical
immersion
standpoint
and
with node sieges,
just overall visual
how it's
appeal.
constructed, and that construction should have the ability to take on a variance of different types of topography. So it shouldn't be dependent on the surrounding area. Now,
Yeah,
that's
it
not to
was.
say
That was
that
actually
some
the.
areas
I've
like
posted a
to
question,
some
I think, for
influence,
almost every
so
one
for
of the
example, if
updates
it,
since
you know,
I've
experimented a
started
little
following the
bit with
game.
the
So that was the
platform
first one that
tech,
actually
putting up a
got answered
node
live.
up
Usually
against,
Toast responds to my
the
questions
side of a
in
mountain,
the
or
list
on
where
the
she
edge of a
responds to
cliff,
everyone
or
else's
something that
stuff,
has a beautiful vista or something.
which is awesome.
Those are
But
things that we're
that
gonna
was the
test
first
out,
time to see
obviously,
mine
as we
actually get
continue to
addressed here
work
live
the
on the stream.
node tool and how that platform
Scribe?
system, works, but the idea is to
I think we've speculated on that one
have the
before,
node independent of the
and
surrounding terrain.
having it be like
Yeah, and you should
enchantments or
definitely go check out some
enhancements
of our
to
YouTube videos. We did some
abilities,
behind the scenes on the
crafting
dev tools, like the
rune
building tools
rune
and
powers,
node stuff. So definitely
where
go
you
check
can
that out. There's
apply
a lot
like
of
elemental effects
interesting
or abilities
stuff
to
in
your
there.
weapons
Our next question
and
is from
attacks.
Half-Tilt Gamer about skills. Do you plan to have any skills that are environment specific, such as any that are only
It's
able to
incredible
be
that
used
they
indoors
respond to
or
all of them. The
outdoors?
amount of time Toast puts into organizing those questions and
Probably
gathering
not.
answers,
Um,
even if it's just,
which is not
hey,
to say
we've
that-
answered
that
this, go
some
check it
skills
out
won't be
here.
Affected by the environment itself, or like what's going on in the environment.
It's incredible how much time she
we
must
talked
put into
about
that.
whether having some like influence in certain types of things. Those are all things we're still playing with and still trying to like suss out. But there probably isn't going to
Suss.
be anything that is only activatable indoors, or is only activatable in lava, or is only activatable in the under realm. Like, I don't think that we're going to go in that direction.
Okay.
They didn't
And Wade
use
Love
the
wants to know
example
about
part of the
character
question that I
creation,
wrote,
or
but
about the character.
we still got the
You need
answer we
to
were looking
have
for, which is
early
awesome.
access in order to pre-make your character. If the character creator comes,
Doki says a character may only ever master one of these parent paths.
That's a good
So yeah,
question.
the parent
I haven't made a
path
decision
is
on
like
that
the
yet.
gathering, processing, or crafting.
But when we do make a decision on that, we will let you know.
Yeah, sounds good. Ratian or Reshian or Ratian
And I do
wants to know
remember
about lore.
hearing,
What
I
is the
think during
overarching name
one of
for the
these
universe that
dev
encompasses
updates
there?
that for
Same
crafting
place
specifically,
and any other realms/planes.
while you could master the tree, you can't master everything within the tree. You
I
could
sometimes
master,
can't
do up
remember
to like
what
3
we
or something
haven't
like
or
that.
haven't
So
shared about that.
yeah, not one in
think we
each
have.
tree.
Okay, we haven't, so we probably shouldn't.
I do
So if
have,
you want
in
to
the
be
future on the
a
website,
master of
there will be a
animal
lore section, and
husbandry,
we'll be
let's say,
slowly releasing
you're going to
stories
be
and
following the processing tree,
Yeah.
and that
yeah, I
doesn't
don't
mean you
think
won't.
we-
You'll still be able
we
to
would
gather
talk
stuff.
about
You'll still
that
be able to craft stuff, but not
Okay.
on a high
Our next
level.
question is from Captain Decky saying,
And as you
wanna talk
pursue
about
down the
spelling.
processing tree,
Have
you can
considered
focus
some
on
type of
animal
system where
husbandry. You can
hide your
focus on
identity,
processing
for some
ore
guild,
into
intrigue,
like
or assassination?
ingots or something like that for blacksmiths to use. Things like that.
No, we haven't
So,
really.
Animal
We've talked
husbandry would
about
be
it, but
one
not
thing
in
you
a
can
systemic
master.
way. It's more about, like,
Smithing might be
players will
another
be able
thing
to
you
do
can
this if we
master.
don't do that. And then trying to
Operating
make
like a sawmill or
decisions
lumber
that
mill might be
kind of
something
are
else
more
you can
permissive
master.
than less
Things
permissive.
like that. But it's
But,
you're gonna have to put
but
a
we
significant
don't
amount
have,
of
like,
time
any
and effort into
explicit-
each one of those little
Yeah, we can take one more
branches.
question.
That's 10 questions.
So
Oh,
We're getting
perfect.
to- yeah.
That's
so
the
our next
thing.
question is from Wembley, and they
it's a
want to know
bit
about
disheartening, but
caravans.
given how they
How do
want
you
the
plan to
economy
make
to
a
work, it
potential
absolutely makes
reward
sense.
for defending
It
a
puts
caravan
a
and
lot
giving
of
to people,
reliance.
to players.
This is the
and
one
taking
thing about this
side
game
of
is
the
it is
caravan
so
How do you
so
manage
much more
defending
reliant
characters?
on a
Yeah.
healthy and active population
we make any
than really any other MMO that I've ever experienced.
To different roles within the game, and
to the point where like just a lot of just your day-to-day gameplay will require and
questing and
really kind of push you in the direction of interacting with other players in some way, shape, or form.
Vice versa wise, we're going
so
to have
it is truly an MMO in that
players, and you might not always be on one side or the other
in that aspect.
What your interests are in the
see a lot of second accounts. I can see secondary accounts being a big thing. I can see people are probably going to want to have alts for sure.
Robust, consequential type.
But again, that's going to come down to, are you going to be a jack of all trades and have a bunch of alts with a whole bunch of different things and a master of none because you don't have enough time in a day to play all those characters when other people who are focused on one, maybe even two characters are going to really kind of take off into that upper echelon of
can offer their own rewards, right? That
abilities,
hey, you
right?
come help me defend this thing, I'll give you some cut. Or that
you
these
do?
are my friends, or
I'm
these are my
jealous.
guilds, that a lot of the sort of incentive is social.
I can tell you, even
created between players.
Retired life, nice, dude.
Working together towards
Jelly. Even if I get to a point where I'm able to do this as a full-time gig, which goals.
You have a
but even if I get there,
because your freehold is in the same.
I still feel like I wouldn't be able to play that many characters, even though I want to play a whole bunch so that I can do more content, more videos and stuff. But yeah, speaking of which, you want to help me get there, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help me out. I'm not looking for donation or anything. I want that juicy ad revenue from YouTube.
Before we get into the wrap up real quick, I just want to remind everybody that we are still in a hiring phase, a very large one, and you guys can do the project.
You're only going to be you're only going to be playing one. Okay.
By getting on social
I might have a couple alts just because I'm just for different play styles, different flavors. Sometimes I love my rogue on WoW, but sometimes maybe I want to play a caster or something. Just different change of pace. Bartek coming in with the raid, my guy. How's it going? How was the D&D session, friend? How was the D&D session? You guys look like you're having a lot of fun earlier. I was enjoying it. What's going on, everybody from Bardstream? Welcome in. Kjorlin, thank you for the follow. Hope I said that right. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys had a great stream, though. It's a bit disheartening, but given how they want the economy to work, it makes sense. It's like, I hate alts or second accounts. Fair enough. Seems like that could be a bit tedious. I see devoting full attention to one and then moving on to an alt may probably be the thing. Yeah, I can't imagine playing more than 2 characters in this game, honestly. Just given the amount of time that's going to be required to play in here and really drive a character forward. There's so many progression paths. Again, you haven't seen the video, go check out the progression systems videos, but there's so many ways that you can progress in this game that doesn't involve killing things, doesn't involve grinding and leveling. So many other ways you can progress in the game without ever hitting a level cap or anything like that. So if you really want to be a part of all of it, have a social organization and a religion and your artisans, and maybe you want to be a mayor, or there's just so many things. Need to find a guild soon so I can play out what artisan will work. Well, I don't know if Wizzy's still here, recruiting officer for the guild Virtue, but quick shout out there. We'll that's where I'm leaning right now. But I know they are recruiting good strong players, so if that is what you're interested in, get in touch with Wizzy here. Sam only can commit to one tune due to time. That's why I want more than one role. But more than one role means a lot of extra gear and whatnot, and gear's not going to be a super easy thing to come by either. But I understand what you're saying, though. Open a freehold, make a tavern, sell food. Yeah, get those juicy buffs out to all your patrons. There you go. That's the way to do it. I feel like taverns are going to be very, very popular.
With us in a supportive way for the team and the project.
I feel like taverns are going to be very, very popular.
You guys going out there and being a
I don't know what I'm going to do on my freehold yet. I'm undecided. if I'm being
really
honest.
a huge help. So
I am
I would charge
undecided.
you with that task if you're a follower and a lover and a member of this community to get out there and help us in that regard.
But,
Yeah, we
we'll
post
see.
on all of our social channels. We
We'll see.
post little hiring blurbs, so if you want to retweet those,
All right,
share
there
those,
was.
send the link to somebody that you know. We post on LinkedIn as well. So all of those places,
Yes.
we would love for you to share.
They're limited.
I know it's
like
an
how
interesting thing
many
to hear me say.
taverns you can
I am
have in a
unabashed
node
this request.
is limited.
I think
Or
you
do you
can
mean
be an
the amount
AOC
of freehold
evangelist
plots
without being a
available are
hype man or
limited?
woman.
That
I
I
don't
know.
like hype, but I do like participation.
The
I do
mayor
like
sets the
feedback.
limit
I
for
do
another?
like
Oh, okay,
revealing
okay.
what we're working on, and if that excites you, that's
I wasn't
great.
aware
It doesn't
of
have to be a
taverns
hype
themselves
megaphone,
being
it just has
governed
to
under
be an
that, but I know
awareness megaphone.
freeholds
Get
are
out there and
governed
let
like
people
that.
know,
So
you know,
in
what we're
a
doing,
way
what
that
our
yes, that I guess will manage the amount of
progress
taverns
we've made. It's
to an
all
extent.
very helpful to the project and the team.
And we try to
But I'm curious to see how else you can monetize other facilities. Like if you're a processor, if you're a master processor, and you've got really good blueprints for processing buildings, and you're going to put those on your freehold, can you charge people to come and use those higher quality processing buildings? To me, that seems like another good way to just have a bit of passive money coming in. Especially if you can do it on, say, a guild freehold or something like that and charge other people to come use your guild stuff.
So if you want those, snag them now. And then, of course, we do have our next playtest.
Good way to fund the next raid night, you know, and get all the consumes and all the other things you need to get off the auction house.
Further information, so stay tuned for that. And of course,
For
we'll have this
repair-
video
while
up on our
repairs
YouTube
are-
channel, youtube.com/.
Alright, so yeah, follow Ashes on all the things if you're not already. That's essentially what's left on the video. Repairs are going to be bigger than just gold, and that you're also going to need processed goods, which are obviously going to require raw materials before that in order to repair your items. So, and then you're going to have to talk to a crafter about it. So it keeps those gathering and processing professions relevant forever, which is super, super important. All right. So the other thing to look at, the new cosmetics are out in full force now. What do you guys think of these? What are these? Are these like wrist guards or these shin guards? Like, how cool would it have been to have these things right here as your shin pads when you were growing up playing soccer? Or football, depending on which part of the world you're from. How awesome would that have been? I would love to have had those and then accidentally knee somebody in the chest or something when we go after a ball together and they get a big, what is that? Lion ape looking thing imprinted on them? That would be awesome. I would love that. Not that I intentionally went out of my way to knee people while I was playing soccer. I mean, be a little weird, but yeah. Repairs and repair place, I believe, not just coin service. Yeah, so if someone have a place to repair, they can sell the mats also. Yep, that could be very profitable. Means there can only be as much gear as there is economy to support that gear's maintenance, which is an interesting concept, right? Just to make ore into bars, maybe not. Greaves, I think. Shin guards, they're greaves similar to what the full armor set has. Okay, yeah. So part of these guys, because, you know, they're not wearing pants. Jalon had same question, legs or feet. Yeah, they definitely look like shin guards. These look like your kneecaps, and this comes down to where it would go, you know, over your ankles. We are a democratic guild. We vote on all large choices. GM only votes as a tiebreaker. Fair enough. In ye olden times, those were worn because a shield covered from about knee on up, so you needed something to not get stabbed or speared under your shield. That's fair. That's fair. Or to have those raining arrows coming down and just happen to hit you in the top of the foot and be sitting there like Peter Griffin. Ah! 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 I could go all night doing that. I won't. Got things to do. I got things to do. But yeah, you don't want somebody doing that on the battlefield, especially if it's your healer. You know, protect your healers, guys. Protect your healers. All right. I don't know what this thing is, if this is like a pet, but if this is a pet, I absolutely want it to charge and ram things and not gold out of them. And to keep your toes visible because you had to stay on your toes. I think it's a pet because this guy here has the saddle, and typically you see one pet and one mount. This is a 20-minute video of him doing. Oh, I believe that. I'd be surprised if there isn't a 10-hour loop somewhere on YouTube of him doing that. It's probably got millions of views, like Gandalf sacks on 10-hour loop. But yeah, if this is this being a pet, I absolutely want this thing to charge people, and I want it to like knock something out of them. Even if it's just visual effect, not something I can pick up, but like just knock like coins out of them or something. In Ashes, we will have 40-man progression rating group. We have cutouts for every kind of player. We'll have the greatest respect for crafters, PvPers. Nice. Yeah, I'm there. But yeah, the rabbit dog mount. Is it a rabbit dog? A rabid dog? Rabid dog. I'm gonna call it the rabid dog. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a rabbit, but in a dog frame, and it just looks like a lot of fun to go hopping around with. You know, call him Peter Rabbit. They're a rampaging band of murder, almost with a cute name. Led by the dark warrior himself. You gotta have a healthy balance, right, Psycho? You gotta have a healthy balance. You can't all just be super goody two shoes. You gotta have balance. Well-rounded guild has everything. But yeah, I absolutely want to be on the high seas. Right now, if I had to kind of label the play style that I'm looking to go towards, it is probably going to be more of a treasure hunter type play style, and that's going to be kind of the focus. Not necessarily as a pirate, where I go and rob people of treasure, but more like an Indiana Jones type, go out and like solve the mysteries, maybe a Tomb Raider type thing, go out and find the treasures and the things in the world. And I want to do it from a coastal base, if you will. So that's kind of where I'm going. I absolutely want to dive into the PvP aspect, quite a bit of it as well. So steal treasures from bad guys. They're coming right for us. See, all you have to do is make it sound like that, then it's all right, right? Then now they're the bad guys. Boom, just like that. Just paint them as the bad guy. You know, like politics. Liberate the treasure. That's right. Potato farmer. The chariot's kind of cool. I was contemplating the chariot myself. It looks neat. It would be a fun. I don't think that's a caravan. Maybe it's another form of mount, which would be neat. It seems a little too small to be a caravan, but we'll have to see. The armor's neat. It's a neat elven-esque style to the armor. Redoubtable ram. Dwell amongst the Imperial peoples for generations, trained in the illustrious art of charging the enemy line. Yes, there you go. They serve as crucial livestock, fellow warriors, and companions all at once. Indeed, some suspect that the Imperium's unyielding attitudes are inspired by this humble creature. Beneath an Imperial shield wall, a dozen rams patiently march. Their fury, unleashed as a blur of crimson horns, comes crashing upon a weary front line. So they just might have a charge ability to them. Couldn't mount for sure to be carted around in a... Oh, I would love that. That would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, so these are Greaves. You guys must have read this at neat rabbit there. Crusher's Carriage. Many would question... it is a caravan. Cosmetic skin. Interesting. Yes, battle pets will be a thing in the game. Yes, they will. You will be able to put armor on them. Did you not see? We talked about this in our progression systems. Please hold. So the battle pet might look something like this when you deck it out with armor. I can't be too sure, but this might be what you might see me running around with this thing by my side. totally badass, right? Fucking hideous thing, man. I don't know why people have that. Doesn't look like a pet. But yeah, so this is interesting for a caravan. I would have loved this as a mount, but it's like, how can you feasibly store very much here unless the caravan unless the chariot just gets really long or something, maybe. So I don't know. So yeah, not a bad pack at all. Check it out if you guys haven't already. But